Welcome to NFL Pub Hub. It is playoff time. The wild card is here, and news is flying in. Obviously, you guys have heard that the Steelers-Bills game is being moved to Monday. Just a massive, massive move. And a lot of books, Bet365, a lot of books don't void that action because it's within the same week. I thought all the books voided that action, but not all the books void that action when there's a date change because it's within the same week. So people who moved on that under are likely very upset. And people who've moved on the over at the lowest point are quite pleased with the situation that has arisen. And then for those books that void bets, I'm sure they're very angry professionals who moved on the under 41 and then moved on the over 33. And we're in this huge opportunity with an 8-point middle. So huge news coming in. There's Justin McKelvey in the house. Ian Shabers has worked all morning, wasn't able to cap the hardwood, but boots are off, fixing to chill with the gang and enjoy some NFL. Great stuff, man. So glad that you have time this afternoon because there's a lot going on. Brian Stovall in the house. We got Harold Williams and Troy Torrance, my partner in Bankroll Blitz, over 50 units up in single unit action, our guy Troy Torrance. And Browns are a max play for him. There's Londo in the house who says, let's go Browns. Tacky JP in the house. Ricky Levine says, what's cracking? Flacco 5-0 straight up and 5-0 against spread in wild card games. It's amazing the juggernaut that Flacco has become and is seen right now. Jim W. Putt, my man. Jim, thank you for being a part of our Confidence Playoff Pool. I was so happy to see your name, man. Thank you for being such a big part of what we do here on Pub Sports Radio. Londo on Browns minus 2.5 in the under 45. A little Domo in the house says, let's have a weekend, my guy. So what goes on now, for me at least, as the games get smaller, the bets get bigger. And there's a lot of opportunity for us to get paid here. And we have a great group here. Bano is here. Ragu, Sean Higgs, Birdie, Marley, Ramon Scott, and Dave Rogers. If you've been wondering why we're getting so many of the same cappers, it's because it's just winners. I'm just gravitating towards the ones who've been so successful this year. I also graded Ragu's first half Dolphins money line as a loss. I don't know. I pride myself on not making mistakes in record keeping, and I made one. And upset about it. But so Ragu still has the lead, which means he didn't have a too horrific of a week. He had a fine, not a good week, but wasn't as bad as it looked. And he's still in the lead. So we have our number one ranked capper, Big Ragu, 44-37 plus 12.05 units. He's up second. Marley is in the house. He is so close. We're talking 0.57 units out of first place. He is right there. 0.58 units out of first place right there. Sean Higgs is joining us. He is currently in third place. Ramon Scott currently in fourth place. And then Birdie's joining us. He's in sixth place. And we have Dave Rogers joining us. He's in 11th place. And then we have our guy, Bano, currently in 24th place. Season 2 champion. And his numbers are easy. He could easily get into the black here. 47 and 46 down 4.92 units. Could easily get into the black. The reason why the bottom group doesn't change much is I stop inviting them. Bano, our season 2 champion, would never be that. We know what he brings to the table, and I'm telling you, I expect Bano to be in the black. And it's interesting here with 28 cappers, just so you guys get a sense of how difficult beating the NFL is. And what edge you need to have and what angle you have. There's only 8 of 28 cappers that we've had on the show in the black. And it's fascinating tracking everybody. So that's the situation we have here. Great to see all of you guys in business here. Miles Johnson, Leonard Porsche Jr. ready to get to work. Love seeing all of you guys. C-Mac in the house. C-Mac and our guy, Dabby Cab, just finishing up their big live stream. They do such a great job there. Antonio Esparza ready to eat. Comic Ricky. God, it's been too long since we've seen Comic Ricky. There's Sammy Comer. Well, it's great. We have everybody ready to rock, so let's do exactly that. I've only made the 6 bets that I made on Tuesday. So I've got Chiefs first half minus 2.5, Chiefs full game minus 3.5, Philly Tampa Bay under 44. I got Dolphins team total under 19.5, Rams, Detroit, first half under 25.5 and full game under 51.5. There have been no additions at this point, and I'm not really close to making any additions, except, we can make some. I'm going to be listening to everybody in the chat as well as on camera. So I love it, Top Set. I love hearing that. Top Set says, unbelievable night, Jim, even hotter, and doubled up my unit size. Mitch Fearing, ready to get to work. There's Camera FIL, straight 420. King Al, what a great, great group. Jay Smooth in the house. So the only major news is what we talked about off the top. Buffalo-Pittsburgh moved to Monday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Steelers linebacker TJ Watt out, as you guys know. And then the only other issue is A.J. Brown is out. And that we thought that he was going to try to play. I think that it's a bad sign for what's going to happen if the Eagles advance, knowing that he's ruled out, 48 hours before game time, which means he's not close. He's not close. There's the Wild Hound. Buffalo Steelers under 34.5 says wind will play havoc on Monday. It is going to be very windy. And each capper that you see on screen, all 7 of them, will be talking about each and every game. So let's go. Let's roll. Please welcome your first guest, our Season 2 champion. And we track every year's winner. They're going to have to do some major winning here to catch what Bano did last year. And as I said, 47-46 down 4.92 units. We know how this works. One great week by Bano, which could happen right here, would push him right into the top 5. And because I've told you guys, 8 of 28 cappers who've been on the show are in the black, Wine Time is 5th. And he's only done one show with us and went 3-1, up 1.9 units. So we know what your next guest delivers for us. Opportunities for us to make money. So please welcome our first guest of Wildcard Week. Thank you guys so much for joining us from Canada's Black and Yellow Steel Town, Mr. Ian Cameron to the show. Bano, how are you, my friend?
Great, Jimmy. Wildcard Weekend is here. I'm ready.
Well, let's get right to work, my friend. Let's get right to work. We start 4:30 p.m. We start in 2 hours and we start in 1 hour and 52 minutes. AFC wildcard playoffs. Cleveland Browns 11-6, 3-5 on the road. Houston Texans 10-7, 6-3 at home. We're at Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. Now, this is the game where there's been the most injury news by far for me, where I was kind of things I didn't expect, things I did expect, back and forth. So there's Dick Schnizzle in the house. So great to see you, man. Of course, Browntown going crazy. Oh, I love seeing you. Leo said it in the house. A lot of Browns love here. And there's Top Set, a Miami native who is fading his hometown team. And there's our guy, Orange Juice Octopus. So let's go. So this is the important news here. Thursday's practice, a lot of information came out. And Denzel Ward hurt his knee. We don't know the extent of the knee injury here. And we know that he sat out an earlier part of the season. And that's when we saw Cam Mitchell and Mike Ford Jr. step up. But that is a surprise. Also, Grant Delpit was designated to return from injury reserve Wednesday. So every site said he'll play. He's not playing. He's ruled out with that groin injury. So that surprised me. I was surprised by that. I thought, and it was reported everywhere that Grant Delpit would be playing. He's not playing. Cedric Tillman, receiver, and Dustin Hopkins, their kicker, out. They are ruled out. Amari Cooper is back in business. For Houston, Will Anderson Jr., the ankle injury, we've seen him slow down quite a bit. Jonathan Greenard, huge hole in the defensive line when he's not there. And Jerry Hughes, all have missed practice, including receiver Noah Brown. And we're not entirely sure. I mean, you can imagine Anderson will play like 50 or 60% or 80% or wherever he's at, but Jonathan Greenard may not be good enough to go here. So that's for the Texans. All right, let's roll. And Schnizzle saying Ward should play, and Donut Silk saying Ward is playing. There's Professor Chris in the house. And let's roll. Timmy Two Shoes in the house says, because life happens, nothing's easy. I'm forced to take Texans and the points. So let's get to work here with Bano. Let's go over the line history here and talk about the cash flow, and then watch our guy Bano roll. So here we go. We have right now Cleveland minus 2.5 at minus 106. And that's a move. Oh, no, it just moved back to Houston. Sorry, I got to refresh this. It just moved back to Houston. So now Cleveland minus 2.5, minus 101. Minus 101. So there's been a 5-cent move towards Houston at the 2.5 number, but we saw 2s on the board and we no longer do. So it's right back at 2.5. And from a total side of things here, we are sitting with a 45 across the market, a 44.5 here at Pinnacle. And this is one of the very few totals to move in the towards the over. Very few have done that. This one has. All right, let's take a look at what we are dealing with here from a cash flow perspective. 39% of the tickets and 44% of the cash on the Houston Texans, and 69% of tickets and 74% of the cash on this over. Here we go. Game 1, Bobano, AFC wildcard playoffs, Browns, Texans. Take it away, my man.
Great game. It's a great game. It's fascinating. Is this Joe Flacco renaissance going to continue? Is C.J. Stroud in his first ever playoff start in a rookie season ready to take his team to the divisional playoff round? I mean, just from the quarterback standpoint alone, it's a fascinating matchup. You've got 2 great coaching jobs this year, Stefanski and DeMeco Ryans. Definitely have to be in the Coach of the Year conversation. I look at this game, though, and as much as Cleveland has been very good down the stretch, Flacco's played way better than we ever thought he would. He's found great chemistry with Amari Cooper and David Njoku, and the one thing you can do is pass on Houston. Houston does not have a great secondary at this point in time. But the fact remains, I've also seen Flacco, as much as he's played great, he's also thrown a lot of contested passes into coverage that have risked. He could have had like 7 or 8 interceptions by now. And in some instances, he's really gotten away with it for the Cleveland Browns. So, can he limit those mistakes? Because he's gotten away with some throws that haven't been necessarily right on target at times. He's played very well. They've actually become more of a passing team, in my opinion, as well during these recent games. Houston, look, the one thing about this Houston team, man, they are tough. They're resilient. They found a way against Indianapolis when that game wasn't going well. And I expect this to be a very close, very competitive game. And when you look at C.J. Stroud's ability to over and over again this season, when they need a drive or they're in a close game and he's able to put them in position, even that game early in the year where they lost, I believe, to Jacksonville and they missed the field goal, he moved them down into position to win that game. And they obviously didn't have the field goal go through the uprights. So it's going to be a great matchup. And I think it's going to be more offensive here as far as production wise and points than people think. And maybe they do think there's going to be points because the total is going up in this game. But I agree with that totals move here. It's the stronger of the 2 plays for me in this game for sure. And that's over 44.5, minus 112 at Pinnacle. I am on that for an official play. I think Cleveland can move this football, especially through the air where we have seen Houston's secondary struggle. And they've actually thrown the ball a lot more. Like I said, this Cooper and Njoku chemistry that Flacco's had has been undeniable. On the flip side, though, you look at this Cleveland defense. Look, they've played very well at times, much of the season, no doubt. Haven't been nearly as good on the road. And you look at, too, I mean, even the Jets game, there's Simeon moving the ball at times. Now, they shut them down in the second half, but, there's been some holes. And you mentioned Delpit, although he might still play. And you mentioned Ward's injury. And he, I think, is going to play through it. But I don't think the Browns are shutting down the Texans here in this game. I just don't, especially now that the Texans, they got Nico Collins back, which is huge for that receiving core, which has had some injuries down the stretch. So I think Houston moves this football as well. I really, really like over 44.5, minus 112. And I'm going to go for the plus money here on Houston money line. I'm going to screw the 2.5, 2 points. I don't like the side as much. I prefer the total. I just think when you look at it, Houston plus 120 money line at DraftKings, it's worth a look. Because when you look at Cleveland, not as effective on the road, when you look at Cleveland's win against Houston, and Joe Flacco played well in that game, they were down to Mills and Keenum at quarterback. Cleveland didn't face C.J. Stroud in that win against the Houston Texans earlier this season. So let's see how they fare here. I still think some of these offenses that Cleveland's defense has faced haven't been the greatest down the stretch. So I think Houston's got a chance here in this game. I'm on them plus the points. I was able to grab a couple books had 3 briefly earlier in the week. There's no 3s anymore. So I would just rather take Houston plus 120 at this point. And then for props, one prop that I'm absolutely, and I'm not going crazy with the props for official plays on this show, but I cannot and will not pass up David Njoku over receiving yards. Cannot pass that up. He has been money in the bank for Joe Flacco in the passing game. And I think he has another significant day of production. Hell, we've seen him get 100 receiving yards in a first quarter of a game earlier this year. No, the chemistry's off the charts. I'm more than happy to jump on over 57.5 receiving yards for David Njoku at minus 110.
You are in business, Boban. But Delpit has been ruled out. So we know that that came in today.
Good player.
So Cleveland, Houston over 44.5 minus 112. Texans money line at plus 120. Njoku over 57.5 receiving yards. We have cappers in the chat on either side of the fence here. More certainly on the Cleveland Browns. Troy Torrance bullish on those Browns, but on the opposite side of things, BJ Max bet bullish on the Houston Texans.
I'm not surprised Troy's liking Cleveland because I think he's been on them every week or most weeks this year. I mean, his love for the Browns is just off the chart.
But he has been richly rewarded with his love for
that's all
the
that matters. Yep.
Absolutely. All right, that is game one. Again, every capper you see on today's show will be going through each and every one of these games. I'm only going to set it up with Bobano, and then the rest will just roll. Let's move on. 8 p.m. Eastern this evening. AFC wild card. Miami Dolphins 11-6, 4-4 on the road. Kansas City Chiefs 11-6, 5-4 at home. I'm so excited about this football game. -4 Fahrenheit. It's very cold. 12 miles per hour in clear at Arrowhead Stadium. And again, Xavier Howard, Javon Holland, and Deshaun Elliott, 3 defensive backs. Who gets in? That's been the question everybody's asking. There's a real thought that Howard's not going to get in. So then it's between Javon Holland and Deshaun Elliott. We're still waiting. We're still trying to get that information here. And Kansas City was missing Wanya Morris. That's it. Just missing tackle Wanya Morris. Nobody else. There's our guy, Man, Bear, Pig. You know, I was going through the Circa contest, and there was Man, Bear, Pig. I think he was in 400th out of 6,000 or so in the Circa, the big Circa contest in Vegas. He's a great friend of the channel, a great capper here. Noli Knows says dead under. I didn't move on the full game under, which may have been a mistake. I only moved on the Dolphins team total under because I'm on the Chiefs first half and full game. All right, let's take a look at the line history here for this one and then hand it over to our guy, Bobano. From a total side of things, it really hasn't dropped as much as I thought it would. This opened up at Pinnacle, at 44, and then it dropped within 20 minutes to 43. And I thought that it would continue to drop. It didn't. It came back to 44, and even right now, it's sitting at 43.5. Now, it is juiced to the under. My bookie has moved it to 42.5, so you see some other books moving it to 43 and 42.5. But then, Bookmaker, Heritage, Bet Online, Pinnacle, I mean, they're still at 43.5. So that has made me a little uncomfortable here. And then from a side perspective here, we are dealing with 5s now on the board, but not at the books we respect the most. The books we respect the most are at 4.5s. Oh, actually, I take that back. There are some. There are 3. I take that back because there's Bookmaker, Bet Online in here. I didn't move over to that page. Bookmaker, Bet Online, and Bovada all have 5s and 4.5s everywhere else. A lot of cappers I know got 3s. I did not get that 3. It opened at Pinnacle at 3.5. You had to be quick and you had to be early to get that 3. So take it away. Oh, and then cash flow here. My apologies. Cash flow. 80% of the tickets and 89% of the cash on the under. I'm still a little surprised that it hasn't gone further in that direction. And then this is 50-50. I mean, we got 46% of the tickets and 56% of the cash on the fish, but the line keeps moving towards the Chiefs. Take it away for us, Bobano. Game 2, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'm taking Miami. Cold weather team, or warm weather team going to the cold. Brutal conditions. Team that can't execute on the road, beat good teams on the road, offensively not as good on the road, beaten up to shit injury-wise on both sides of the football, offensive line injuries, defensive injuries galore. It looks like Waddle and or Mostert, both of them may play here, but there's just too many injuries on the O-line. There's too many injuries on defense. It's a big concern for me. Tua on the road in this climate, forget it. I don't trust him. But the problem here is the number where it is right now. 5 with this Chiefs team, for as good defensively as they've been, they've had offensive concerns. Mahomes in this offense hasn't been clicking on all cylinders. So, I jumped on this. I knew right away I was going to move on KC after what I saw against the Bills, after what I saw with the injury situation. They're signing guys off the scrap heap, the street. basically to fill these positions tonight, on the offensive line in some instances with all the injuries, and on defense. I mean, they're signing guys a week going into your first playoff game, and you're signing players because you're just so ravaged right now by injuries. That's brutal. And expect you to be able to win a playoff game on the road in a brutally tough environment. So, no, it's KC or pass. The problem is I don't feel 100% comfortable at the current number, and I have to feel 100% comfortable if I'm going to make it official. I'm in on KC -3.5, -110 earlier in the week, and I thought great number, great prices. Certainly when you see it now, and the Chiefs are not always that easiest team to trust, especially down the stretch to win by margin. So it's now going to be a pass for me. But if you have to get involved at the current number, it would still only be KC or nothing for me.
But nothing official here.
Yeah.
All right, that is game 2. That's this evening's matchup. Let's get to Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, NFC wildcard, Green Bay, Dallas. And these, are pretty healthy football teams right now. A.J. Dillon is doubtful, and Jair Alexander popped up on the injury report. Christian Watson, questionable. He may not make it, but these are two pretty healthy football teams. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the move from 7.5 to 7 for Green Bay. I mean, that's what we've talked about all week. That has not changed. 7.5 to 7. And then this total is sitting at 51 at Pinnacle. It's interesting that it's at 51 at Pinnacle because it's 50.5 everywhere else. And it moved up to 51 2.5 hours ago. So I was surprised that this was the total between this one and the Rams game, which will be our Sunday Night Live game. I was surprised that this was the one that was going towards the under because I bet the Rams-Lions under. Going to the cash flow side of things here, and I have not bet this one. 42% of tickets and 73% of cash are on the Packers, and it's moved from 7.5 to 7. And then for my total scenario here, we've had money on the over all week, 84% of the tickets and 84% of the cash, and it was creeping down. This is the first sign that it's going back up. And because our man Ian is a part of our confidence pool, I perused his picks, so I know that he's got a whopper for you guys here. So take it away, Bano. Sunday, Packers, Cowboys.
Yeah, I know this is going to be. This has the feel to me of a public mauling here, where everyone knows about Dallas's undefeated home record, and yeah, let's lay 7 with them. Green Bay's been up and down all season long. How can we bet Green Bay here? I don't know. I see a Packers team playing better down the stretch, and I know Chicago. Look, people are going to say, "Oh, back to the old Bears and Justin Fields last week against the Packers." Chicago was on fire. Chicago was playing great ball going into that game against Green Bay last week. And Green Bay had their best defensive game of the year. They got pressure. That pass rush was all over Justin Fields throughout that game. Every time they needed a big sack on third down, it seemed like they got it in that game. They have Jair Alexander back in the secondary. No, I think Green Bay is playing some really confident football going into this game. And yes, we know Dallas undefeated straight up at home. But you start to peel back the layers of this Dallas team. And we know on the road you can't trust them. They've been obviously struggling to beat good teams away from home all year. But you start to look at the recent road games that they've played. Seattle game on a Thursday night, 6-point win and a non-cover, survive barely. The Detroit game on Saturday night, 20-19, and really, dubious call on the ineligible player on Decker, the offensive lineman. And they could have lost that game. So they haven't been that dominating team. They played Detroit, Seattle, two capable teams on this field, and they barely won. And that didn't cover either one. And I think Green Bay comes into this with momentum. Now, straight up win, I'm not sure. But now, earlier in the week, it was 7.5. And that's when I jumped on Green Bay. I think there are still a couple stray 7.5s out there with this game. I think it's a close game. I think there's too many issues with the Cowboys still in terms of consistency, down-to-down defense. They've got a secondary which gambles. Deron Bland and all these guys, they go for an interception, and then when they don't get it, they're caught out of position, and they give up the big play. I think that's a concern. I think Green Bay can move that ball with Jordan Love and now a healthy Aaron Jones running the ball as well against this Dallas defense. And Dallas against the run's been so-so. I definitely think Green Bay can keep this close. And what I like just as much, if not more, over the total here in this game. I think it's another one of those Dallas home game shootouts. I know the Detroit game didn't end up going that way. but I think this one will. Dallas, I think, will move the ball on Green Bay, even though I like the Packers. I think it's going to be tough for the Packers on the road here against Dak and CeeDee Lamb the way he's going. Jake Ferguson's a tough matchup for this Packer defense as well. I think the Cowboys have the potential to hit that big play as well, move that football. It'll be interesting to see. If I'm Dak, I'd be wanting to, extend plays with my legs more than sometimes I do now that the playoffs are here, now that the season is on the line. Really, his reputation and the reputation of this team is on the line, because they need to win some playoff games, to start to get people to buy into them. So I'm going to go with the Packers here, plus 7.5. Currently, you can get that at -1. Let me just see here, 7.5, -120 at Bet99, and I will go with over 50, -110 at PointsBet.
Over 50 at -110 at PointsBet, but no Packers money line. For those of you interested, he has taken the Packers.
I took them straight up. I can't take all favorites, man. I got to throw
in the
a
conference
dog
pool
in there, and that's one of those dogs I think's at least got a puncher's chance.
I love it, Bobano. I love it. And thank you for being a part of it. We love that as well. All right. That is Bobano's action. Let's move on to our Sunday nighter. NFC wildcard playoffs, LA Rams, Detroit Lions, Ford Field. These Lions 6-2 at home this year. Rams were a good road team, 5-4. Sammy Laporta, it kind of looks like he's going to play. I mean, we know he's not going to be 100%, and we're all going to fear for him. And we all have Dan Campbell to blame for all of this. None of this had to happen. None of this. It was just his bravado and bullshit getting in the way of having a healthy squad here for this enormously important football game. For the Lions, we knew all along that James Houston wasn't going to play, but there was a little chatter earlier in the week that maybe he would. He's not. Cornerback Jerry Jacobs, wide receiver Khalif Raymond are out. And for these Rams, it's all about Jordan Fuller. Now, they have 6 players listed as questionable. The other 5 are all expected to play. It's all Jordan Fuller. Is he going to be able to play with the ankle injury? On Tuesday, I didn't think he was. And at this point, I still don't think he is. But it's certainly not being established that he won't be in. From a line history standpoint, we have watched the Rams go from plus 3.5 to 3. But interesting and important to note, Pinnacle didn't open them up at 3.5. Pinnacle opened them up at 3. They were bet to 3.5. And that was something that I don't know if I forgot. For some reason all week I've been thinking that they've gone from 3.5 to 3, but that's not the case. From 3 to 3.5 back to 3. So from the opening line right now, there still has been a 9-cent move to the Rams, but it hasn't moved really off the number. Let's get into the total here for this one. From a total side of things, we are dealing with a 52 market wide, but not quite so anymore. Pinnacle 51.5. They have never moved it to 52. There were times we thought they were. They've never even moved the over 51.5, the juice over -112. So when other books moved it to 52, they did not. I love that. And my bookie also dropped it to 51.5. And they've stuck at 51.5. They have not moved it to the 52. And then looking around, all the bookmakers moved it to 51.5. So they're another book that just, kept it at 51.5. So that's interesting. Now, I'm saying that, and it's important to me because I'm on first half under and full game under. From a cash flow standpoint, Public has been on the over all week, 80% of the tickets, but just 55% of the cash. And then from a spread perspective, we are sitting here with 73% of the tickets and 80% of the cash on these LA Rams. Take it away for us here, our guy Bobano, and to Schnizzle. Have an incredible time at the bar in Cleveland, cheering on your Browns. I love when a fan base that's starved for excitement gets it, and you guys have it. So good luck and enjoy, my man. Take it away, Bobano. Packers, Cowboys.
Great matchup.
Oh, sorry. Take it away, Rams, Lions. Sorry.
What can you ask for other than this? This is phenomenal. This is Detroit's first home playoff game in eons. That place will be rocking Ford Field. You've got a Rams team playing great down the stretch. A Lions team that I think is very, very good, though, especially at home. You've got, Matthew Stafford, who's won a Super Bowl with the Rams, now going back to the place where his career started, Detroit. And a lot of people are talking about that more so than the other side of this coin. And Jared Goff playing the team that, let's be honest, kicked him to the curb, said, see you later, didn't want him anymore. You got to believe that's going to fire up Jared Goff. So let's not act like this is all about Matthew Stafford wanting to beat his old team. I think Jared Goff's going to want to play well. And I think this is a matchup that he can play well. To me, the Rams defense is still nothing spectacular, nothing special. They've really been carried this far by their offense, and when you look at them on the road this season, we did see this team get blasted by Dallas, 43-20, lose at Green Bay, lose at Baltimore, although they were competitive. And then, of course, the Giant game right down the stretch survived and hung on for dear life, 26-25. So to me, it's not like the Rams are this resume of just undeniable success away from home, going into this game. So initially, my first thought was Rams. So I've been going back and forth on this game, but the longer the week's gone along, and where I see this line settling in at, with Detroit laying just a mere field goal here in this game, pretty much across the board right now, I do like Detroit a little bit now with this home field that they're going to be playing on. You can get a flat 3, at most spots for this game. Laporta, I think when you ask me if he's going to play, I think he will. He'll find a way, which is significant. He's been such a big part of the offense, to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown, to go with Williams and Reynolds and some of those other good receivers. And, of course, the Montgomery-Gibbs duo running the football. I just think at 3, you're going to see the Lions step up here in this spot. Actually, you know what? You can get -2.5, -125 at Bet99 with Detroit. I will absolutely take that to get the -2.5, where a field goal is a win, not a push. A field goal win, rather, is a win, not a push. I will take that. And I definitely love points in this game. Absolutely. Indoor climate, no weather issues. Offenses, I think, are the strength of both teams, because I actually do think the Lions' defense is weaker than their offense, and I definitely think the Rams' defense is weaker than their offense. The thing that worries me about Detroit is matching up with both healthy Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, who's had an outstanding season. That secondary is Swiss cheese at times for the Detroit Lions. It's my biggest concern for them in this game, but I think they find a way, and I think they'll move that football with a great deal of success against the Rams, and the Rams certainly will have their success moving the football, scoring points as well. So Detroit -2.5, over 50.5. ProLine Plus coming through for me again with the better number. ProLine Plus over 50.5, -125.
And what was the juice on the 2.5?
-115.
-1.
Sorry, -125. -125.
Okay, -125 on both.
Yep.
The public's all over the over. And I get it. They're going to be very long drives. You're going to be getting 8-minute drives.
Yeah, that's truth to that. Yeah.
And so if you are on the over, those first 2 8-minute drives, better cash a touchdown for you.
Too long, 8-minute or 6-7 minute. Well, maybe not 8. There could be some 6-7 minute, but field goals and 3-3 and at the end of the first quarter. Yeah, it would be.
It's a fascinating situation. You have DX Gamblestein wanting to join you on that over, but I doubled up on this under. And
hey, you can make a case for the Rams too. Don't get me wrong. That's why it's a great game. That's why it's a phenomenal watch on Sunday night.
It sure is. It sure is. And Noli knows liking this over, so that's a great sign. That's a great sign for everybody. Everybody likes the over. Everybody, we've seen everybody on this over and it not move at all at the sharpest book. So I'm fascinated with what will be the result of this spot. And DG saying for him, the truth is Campbell Soup is a moron and Stafford's better than Goff. I can support. I kind of like the way Campbell pumps up his team. I mean, how could you not like that? There's parts of what Campbell does that I really get. But then he says, is Detroit as a whole better? Probably, but Stafford will give them plenty of reasons to boo when he puts up 35. We'll see. And thank you to Anthony Richardson blessing our action with the $4.99 dono on Wild Card Saturday. Thank you, Anthony, my man. It means a ton to us, an absolute ton to us. And Dan Kelly says, I've never lost tailing Noli on an over. Never lost tailing Noli on an over. All right, I'll go up against all of you. Not that that's a pleasurable spot to go up against all of you, but it is just the situation. Okay, let's go. And the Sweaty Butcher said, like Jimmy said, if they're going long drives, you can get that over a lot cheaper. That is true, too. If you are interested in the over or want to double down on it, 4 minutes in, that first drive is probably still going. So let's roll on. We got to speed these last couple up here. The next one. Because of course we have 4:30 p.m. Monday now. Pittsburgh Steelers at Buffalo Bills, 20 Fahrenheit, windy, 20 miles per hour. It's supposed to stop snowing around in the morning. We're not sure if any of that will fall into place, but that's what it's supposed to do. We know TJ Watt is out. Minka Fitzpatrick is in. So is DeMonte Casey. He is in for the Bills. We've known for a couple days that Gabe Davis and Taylor Rapp are out. So here we go. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have it sitting right now at a 10. sitting right now at a 10. We did see a lot of 9.5s on the board. There was an idea that with Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, that the inclement weather would help the Steelers more than it would help the Bills from a total standpoint. And these bets, as Dennis let me know earlier, not all of them have been voided. It's Bet 365 because it's still within the week is still good to go. So everything in play, but this total has gone way up. It's gone way up. So this got down to a low of. At other books, it got lower, but here at Pinnacle, it got to 33.5. The announcement for the date changed, and it went up 5 points. I think that's an overreaction and a fascinating one. And then it was bet down to 37.5, and it's juiced to the under 37.5. Fascinating market moves all around. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. The cash flow might be a little confusing because a lot of the tickets were purchased with the idea that it was going to be in these conditions. Today, or excuse me, tomorrow morning. 68% of the tickets, 41% of the cash on the Bills on the spread. And from a total side of things, we are dealing with 50-50, but 63% cash on the under. Take it away for us here, Bano, Steelers, Bills. We got to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah, there's really not much to say here. I have a small piece of the Steelers, but it's not going to be an official play. It's just a small bet, plus 10.5. Which I bet Actually, I bet Pittsburgh initially. I rebet it after because my bet got voided when the change happened, and I can get 10.5 right now at ProLine Plus with this Steelers bet. But it's not something I'm overly strong about. To me, it's just I worry about the mistakes we keep saying from the Bills, turnovers and penalties. If they play clean football, they could wipe the floor with Pittsburgh here. There's no question. And I have concerns about what the Steelers and Mason Rudolph will do, even though they played good down the stretch. He's played well. They've run the football better. I have questions about whether that's going to work here against this Bills defense. And the Bills defense is playing great down the stretch. And on the flip side, the Bills offense, we know they've had the turnover issues. If they play clean, if Josh Allen doesn't turn it over, that Steelers defense, I find they can shut down the mediocre to weak offenses. I still think Pittsburgh's defense against better offenses can struggle. So, like I said, I like the mojo of Pittsburgh. Tomlin is an underdog long-term, has been a good ATS role for him. So for those reasons, I did grab a little Steelers plus 10.5, but will not be an official play for this show.
I hear you. Let's get into the final spot on the board. Our Monday night live stream, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia Eagles 11-6, 5-4 on the road. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 9-8, 4-4 at home at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. We knew Sidney Brown was going to be out. He's going to be out for a year or so. But A.J. Brown being announced out did surprise us. And how early we found out, 2 days before kickoff, which means that next week is in jeopardy if they beat the Buccaneers here. And then Reed Blankenship, you're going to take Sidney Brown out, and he's dealing with a groin injury. God, is he so important? Do they need Reed in there badly? If he's unable to play, it'll be Tristan McCollum. The Bucs are as healthy as they've been all season long. Sammy Calmer says Bucs trifecta. I moved on the under 44 on Tuesday. Let's take a look at that total right now is at 43. Pinnacle has it very, very slightly juiced to the over. So that started at 44. And then from a side perspective, oh, shoot, sorry, I screwed this up. Let me move over to the side quickly. From a side perspective, we are dealing with there are 2.5s now. Let me just leave that. The 3 right now for Tampa's minus 119. So you can imagine that if you want the 3 for Tampa, you should move now because these 2.5s are coming. 85% of the tickets and 96% of the cash on the under. I would have liked to have seen it move a little more. And then from a spread perspective here, 51% of the tickets and 58% of the cash is on the Eagles. I will not be doing setups for any more games. When the cappers come on, they're just going to roll through. Take it away for us here, Bano, Eagles, Buccaneers.
Yeah, and I've been on long enough, and I don't have much on this game. And I've said this most of the week when I've been on shows talking about the wild card games. I think it's impossible to trust either of these teams. I don't trust I don't want if you forced me to choose, I'd take Tampa at anything plus 3 or better. I cannot lay points with the Eagles on the road. Cannot do it. The brutal on defense down the stretch. Now A.J. Brown's hurt. Whispers of dissension in the locker room. Just awful football. Uninspired, lifeless, almost like they didn't give a shit down the stretch some of these games. I can't lay points with that on the road. That being said, Baker looked banged up last week. Their offense against Carolina didn't work. And I don't know if I trust them necessarily. And this home field's not the strongest. that Tampa Bay has. So it's a clear pass for me. I wish everyone luck betting this game.
Let's review Bano's action. He's on the Cleveland-Houston over 44.5. He's on the Texas money line plus 120. He's on Njoku over 57.5 receiving yards. He's on the Packers plus 7.5 and the over 50 in Green Bay, Dallas. And he's on the Lions minus 2.5 and the over 50.5 in Detroit, LA Rams. That is our situation. Bano, thank you for hitting leadoff for us. Our season 2 champion needs a big week here, and he'll be right back in the black. And we believe in you, Bano. Thank you for rolling with us, my friend. Please support our guy, Bano. He's a big part of our Thursday and Monday night live streams. Also, the Ice Guys. Anything he does, please support him and follow him on X at Bano. Bano, any last words, my friend?
Nothing other than good luck to you, Jimmy. Enjoy this weekend. Hopefully the games live up. There's some that look awesome on paper, and hopefully the ones that don't look awesome on paper, they end up being pretty good games as well. Good luck to you. Good luck to everyone in the chat. Enjoy Wildcard Weekend. We'll see you on Friday, betting with the bag.
There he is, our guy, Bano. Lingo Wick, I tweeted out my NHL last night. Would like to get it started with this Rangers victory, 2-1 start of the third. But yeah, it's tweeted out. It's on my Twitter at Jimmy the Bag. Our next guest, let's get him backstage. It is dark right now, but I know he is there. I made a mistake tracking our next guest. I pride myself off of watching Loshak not make mistakes. I trying to never make a mistake, but I graded the first half wrong for the Dolphins. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me, but I fixed that. And so your next guest is still in first place. Now, it was a tough week 18 for him, 4-7, down 3.17 units, but he still has a half unit lead on our guy Marley. So we're sitting 44-37 plus 12.05 units. Our season 1 champion, and he's still heading into the playoffs as our season 3 leader. He was 4th last year. It's just been incredible here. So please welcome from Ocala, Florida, by way of New York City, the big Ragu in the house. Doc, how are you, my friend?
Jimmy, what's going on, my guy? How's the chat doing? Hopefully everybody's got their guns ready to fire today and tomorrow and Monday. But yeah, let's get on some winners. Let's tilt the scales. Thank you, Jackson, for fucking costing me 8-unit swing. Go stick it up your ass, Jax. Let's go. You're not going to catch me get behind another Florida team the rest of the year. But I might do that today. I might surprise you.
Okay, well, let's get right to work. We've set all these games up, so we just need to hear how you're getting paid. Cleveland Browns, Houston Texans, Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. Take it away, my man.
Let me give you a quick little theory how I approach the playoffs. First wild card rounds, since they went to this new format, the number ones have a huge advantage without question. And don't you think for a moment that these books, when they're putting these numbers out, and they're protecting themselves with the parlays and the teasers here. So there's going to be some good teaser spots we're going to get on. I usually throw one out here or there, but today we got a few more than that. So I'm just going to warn the chat. But anyways, we'll talk about the first game, Houston and Cleveland. Houston's live here, guys. Very live. We know the Jekyll and Hyde that Cleveland plays on the road with their defense. So we'll see. I guess they're laser focused, supposedly, trying to get Flacco, who they got off the couch a couple months ago. Another run at the Super Bowl. So we'll see. And then that if you turn the clock back, I think Christmas Eve they played one another, but Stroud was gone, and they wound up losing by 2 TDs, and they were getting 3 in that game, and here they are getting 3 again with Stroud, not Keenum. I like this Houston squad a lot. Do I like them to take the side? If there's 3 spots that are live, it's going to be Houston, the Bucs, and the Rams are alive to me, dog-wise. The rest are all going to be pretty chalky the rest of the way. But getting to the number, that's a whole nother story. Talk about wins and losses, guys. So here, I'm not going to take them on the side right yet, but I will use Houston in a exotic, which we'll get towards the end of the show. So I lean Houston here on the side, but I'm not on it officially.
Leaning towards Houston. There's been a big move towards Houston. Razor sharp picks moved on Houston, Texans +3. Since we've started the show, there's been a big move on Houston now. 2s at Will Hill.
Yeah, they're going to show up. Yeah,
Pinnacle.
They're live. They're live. They're playing on those splits. With Cleveland on the road, and they got Stroud back. Stroud's a gamer. I mean, the kid's way beyond his years as far as the competitor goes on the field. So. They're up for rookie of the year, coach, rookie of the year, with the player too. So be a good game. I'll have a
Will
play
Hill,
on it though, but not right now.
Will Hill, Pinnacle, and Bookmaker have all just moved it to 2. That is Browns Texans, so no official action for Ragu. Let's move on to the big one this evening. I can't wait for this football game. Miami Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs. Take it away.
Yeah, so Miami's season sailed last week against Buffalo. They're just so dinged up, like Ian said. Defensive leader got your offensive leader dinged up. They're patching holes on the defensive line, and Kansas City hasn't been world beaters on the offensive side. Their defense is pretty stout, but Miami's got a ton of issues on both sides of the ball. And if they would have canceled the game, you'd think they would have canceled this one, any of them. But they're playing this game, so that doesn't bode well for the Fish. Listen, they're all going to be in the same game. I don't care if they're from Alabama, Hawaii, Omaha, wherever they're from. They're all going to line up. It's cold. They're all going to be cold. There's going to be drop balls. There's going to be mishandled. There's going to be a few turnovers here in this spot here. I think Miami set up to run in this spot pretty good in this game here. So if they take note, they might try to control it. So, but I just think they're going to be up against it. With a Super Bowl coach, Super Bowl MVP. That offensive scheme isn't going to work against Spags here. So, I'm on Kansas City first half and full game here, guys. I think they get the job done at home. I haven't been a fan of them of late, but I don't like betting against Mahomes. The last time I said that I lost. So this time he owes me 1 or 2 with the first half and the full game. So put me on KC first half full game here.
Let's get this for you. First half full game right now at Penny. 4.5 minus 106 is the full game. And the first half is -3, minus 107. So let's lock in Ragu. While I'm locking in Ragu, let's move right on to Packers Cowboys for us here. 4:30 p.m. Eastern, our first game on Sunday with the change from the Steelers to Sunday, from Sunday to Monday. Take it away, Ragu. Packers Cowboys.
We know the outcome of past with Dak and playoff games and exiting, and McCarthy. Is McCarthy on the bubble here also? If he loses this game, he might be looking for some work somewhere else too. But I mean, they've had a magical season though. In reality, they're probably their best team in a long time. These Cowboys, they look, and it's a Jekyll and Hyde team too. Home road splits. I mean, you got to like them home. And I know there's a lot of love for Green Bay, what they've done of late. Coming down the stretch. With that real young team that they have, real love is coming to his own. I know Dallas. I think Dallas. The only concern I have for Dallas right now is their depth and some of the linebacker spots. You get outside of you get into the linebacker area. I think there's 2 linebackers, and then when you get back that are an IR, I think Van Der Esch is an IR and the other guy. But anyways, there might be some depth problems from there at the linebacking spot. So you might look at some zone coverages there that might expose some things, but. It's a big spot for Love. Dak's been there before. Just I don't want to lay the 7. I think 7.5 was pretty decent with the number for these guys. But we know the Cowboys either can blow them out or they could, I don't think they lose at home. But it's going to be one of my teaser spots with the Cowboys. I'll tip my hat on that here. But I think if you get 7.5, you might be live to Green Bay. But I don't think Dallas loses this game home. But I'm not going to lay the 7. I'm going to use them in teasers, and when I put them together, they'll be. You'll see what I use them for.
All right. Well, then let's roll right on to our next spot on the board. Our Sunday night live stream, LA Rams, Detroit Lions. Take it away.
Yeah. So this is the game. I love the under in this game.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I think we get the best of both teams here as far as what they've been able to do offensively. But like you said, I think we're going to see some long drives without a doubt. And then, like we keep hearing about the homecoming, but like Goff is going to want to play also because he's got a little chip on his shoulder. But I just think here, with this, and then you talk about a young team. The Rams are really young too. So, and McVay's done a hell of a job coaching this team up, and they played up, outside the quarterback position and on the defensive line. Everybody else is pretty young here, so I don't think we're going to see a lot of chances took as far as. Gimmick plays and I think we see more of an X's and O's type football here. I know Detroit's loaded with weapons, but so isn't the Rams. And on the optics here are we're going to get a big over. We're going to get a lot of scoring, which I agree. You know, I agree with the look, but on paper, it doesn't translate that way to me. When I do my X's and O's, it comes under anything that's under 7 touchdowns here is a W in my book here. So if 49 and under, I think is good here. When you start getting above 49 points, it gets a little shaky for me. So I think full game under here is the play. I think we'll see longer drives, like you said. And I just think even though Detroit scores more points at home, the Rams defense is pretty legit. They play, road splits are pretty solid with that number, 21, 22 points a game on average. And Detroit's numbers kind of tick up a little bit offensively, but the Rams kind of play the same at home as they do on the road. So I don't see it's a big disadvantage for them here. And I just think they just eat a little more clock than what people think is going to happen. And I think this game stays under, like high 40s, like 46, 47, 48.
I love it. Under 52 minus 108 available at Heritage. I love Stafford in unders. He takes so much time. He always lets the play clock run unless they have a different idea, like moving quickly, which they rarely do. I love him with unders. Let's roll on, Raghu, your next spot. We head over to Monday action, which takes us now to the Steelers-Bills game. Take it away.
Yeah, well, this is the cancellation game, right? So Tomlin's it's been like 2016 since they've won a playoff game. This guy's won every year he's been a coach at Pittsburgh. He hasn't had a losing season 17 years. I think he's on his 10-win season. So phenomenal job there. But where's the weaponry for this Steelers squad here? That's a huge number, guy. That's a big time number. Keeps climbing up. I don't see any way that they could actually win this game. But it is the NFL. And to Buffalo's credit, probably the hottest team in the league right now, what they have going on. I mean, they cancel this game because they want Buffalo to have every opportunity to score a bunch of points, as many points as they can. And in my book, that's my conspiracy theory here. But, they tried to get them over last year with that Cincinnati scenario. It didn't work. So this year, maybe they get there on that side of the ball with Allen. Allen's been spectacular. The defense has been pretty good. Pittsburgh, like I said, they got some wins out. Now, who's going to be the starting quarterback for Pittsburgh today? Or Monday, I should say Sunday. Excuse me.
It's all set. It's all set. There's no surprises. There's no Pickett. We're all it's status quo. And when you look at what we've seen from the Steelers in the last 3 weeks, it's fascinating. It's not exactly what meets the eye. I know that the points have skyrocketed, but it's absolutely fascinating. So out of 52 quarterbacks that have thrown, and I think it was at least 75 passes, I have to double check what it is. Rudolph is 50th out of 52 quarterbacks in on-target percentage at 56.5%. So, I mean, if you take out that, Pickens slant that he goes for, 80, I mean, the yards don't look as good as it is. Now, he's played very clean football. Yeah. So Mason Rudolph's been very clean, but it's not.
It's playoff football, though. It's different. It's you're going into a hostile environment. You're going into, I used to call it Rich Stadium, whatever it's called nowadays. But I don't know. Just that's a lot of points to lay. Do I trust Buffalo? Maybe first half, possibly. But I'll lay off of this one, and that'll be, the bad thing is, with the change and everything, it kind of screwed some of my teasers up. But we're going to have to go with them, I guess, or I might just pull them back. I got to see. So we're looking at a 10 solid, huh?
Yeah. 10 solid right now.
Okay.
Let's roll into the final spot here on the board. The Monday night live stream, which we will be a part of. Eagles, Buccaneers. We'll be sharing the screen together. Will you have pre-flop action?
I'll have some pre-flop. I will have some pre-flop. They're tugging at me again, these friggin' Bucks. This team's live to beat these Eagles. I mean, the Eagles, I think they haven't covered a spread since last season sometime. I think, where's Mikey M at? Where's he at? So, anyways, the Eagles, they haven't covered in like 6 games. They lost A.J. Brown now. Their defense is horrible. To their credit, the Bucs offense is nothing to write home about. They put up 9 points against Carolina, which, got me paid last week. But Bucs are one of these teams that I really don't trust on a day-to-day basis. And On the splits, I do, but on the road home splits, I kind of trust them more on the road here. But Philadelphia is just so bad right now, man. There's a lot of dissension on the team right now. There's a lot of finger pointing. A lot of the locker room's not good from what I'm understanding, and they're riddled up with injuries. So there's just not a whole lot of confidence. And you got Hurts' thumb, but like Ian said, Baker's he's hobbled up pretty good too. So pre-flop wise, I would look at the first half under here. Or excuse me, full game under. I'm gonna do my standard de facto full game, prime time under. So we'll roll with that to make an official play on this one. Give me the under, full game, Tampa, Philadelphia.
Under 43. I bet that too on Tuesday at 44. So I'm right with you. Under 43 at minus 105 over at Pinnacle for Tampa Bay, Philly, and Ragu is locked in. Our current leader right now with a half unit lead over Marley from Brothers and Bets. Chiefs first half -3 at -107. Chiefs full game -4.5, -106. Rams Detroit under 52, and Tampa Bay Philadelphia under 43. Ragu, my man, thank you for rolling with us. Do you have a teaser for us to shut it down?
I had multiple teasers for you today. I got multiple teasers, guys. Multiples. I got like 6 of them. I went a little haywire today just because I'm all about the home teams in the first round always, and the teams that make sense at home, I like to back them up here. And I think, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to be off of the Bills action, so I'm going to pull them back. So we're going to go. That's going to change the whole look. I don't have as many as I thought I do now. So I'm going to be on Dallas with the Bucks and Dallas with the Texans.
So Dallas with the Bucks and Texans, okay?
And then I'm going to be on the Bucks and Texans.
So
and the teasers.
Okay, so then we are giving you the 1 for Dallas. For the Buccaneers, you are getting a +9. Bucks +9, and then Bucks +9, and then who was the last one? Sorry,
Texans.
The Texans.
Bucks,
now,
Texans, Dallas.
So with the Texans, 2.5. So you're getting a +8.5, +8.5 for the Texans, and the Bucks, Texans, 8.5. You are in business. Cowboys -1, Bucks +9. Cowboys -1, Texans +8.5, Bucks +9, and Texans +8.5. You're in business, my man.
You got it, my
Doc,
man.
thank you so much for rolling with us. A half unit lead going into the playoffs. Doc, any last words for the Cowboys Sport in the show?
Hey, everybody cash your tickets today, and we'll see you back on the stream Monday evening. Cash them all, guys.
There is our guy, the Big Ragu. Please follow him on X at Big Ragu62. We roll on your next guest, a currently ranked 3rd out of 28 cap rates. He's been a revelation this year on NFL Pub Hub. 27-19 plus 6.08 units. He's come on and he has delivered. Please welcome the star of Midday Money, Mr. Sean Higgs, to the show. Sean, how are you, my friend?
Pretty good. I feel bad. I saw like Bano taking shots because he's the longest, but you come in, like you give out every game. You got to go through everything. It takes a while to set up a playoff. Oh, we got 6 games, 8 games. Come on, give a guy a break.
Yeah,
it's the first one in the show. A lot of work to be done.
It's all good.
Jimmy, let me. So we can give out player props in the.
Of course. Absolutely.
I am gonna fire like a Gatling gun today, folks. I'm coming for Marley and Ragu. We're gonna have. I think we'll have a 17-piece loaded up here between sides, totals, and props. So
well, let's get right to work. Browns, Texans, take it away.
All right. Okay, we were running really late, so I'm taking Cleveland money line and the over. Stroud and Texans, great season for the rookies there. But what I saw last week, a little worrisome there with their run game. If you're going to win, you need a little bit of a run game in the playoffs. I don't care that you're home. Cleveland money line, over the total, and I got some props here. A Flacco. Or do I save these for the end or do them as I go through the games?
No, let's do them. Yeah, roll.
All right. Flacco over 275 yards passing. The guy's been a 300-yarder every game but his first. It's minus a 130 over 275 yards passing.
Okay.
A Hunt touchdown plus 180. Anytime TD. I don't do the first. I just need a touchdown. So plus 180 from Hunt. A Njoku touchdown for plus 170. These were off Bet Online before. I was just checking them out. And I put these up on Twitter too, on the X World. I threw them out last night and this morning as well.
Beautiful.
And Schultz TD anytime, not anytime, 230 for my guy, ex-Cowboy guy.
Ooh, wow.
So there you go. There's a quick near dime in your pocket after we go 5-0 in those people.
Firing away here.
Browns confident weekend here of NFL football.
Browns minus 130. Cleveland, Houston over 44.5 at minus 112. Flack over 275 yards passing at minus 130. Hunt anytime touchdown plus 180. Njoku anytime touchdown plus 170. Schultz anytime touchdown at plus 230. And then we move right into game 2 this evening. A big one. Dolphins, Chiefs. Take it away.
I've already bet heavily on the under in this game. So we'll start there. Under the total. Chiefs defense, very good. Miami, not very good. 14 points versus Buffalo, 20 points versus Buffalo, 19 versus Baltimore, 14 versus the same Chiefs, 22 versus Dallas on a last-second field goal, 17 versus Philly. Obviously, against playoff-type teams, they do not show up. And the injuries all over the place. Forget about it. Give me the under here. Kansas City struggles to score. Anytime touchdown, McCole Hardman, plus 650. My guy. I've been trying for years to get this guy to catch one for me. He hasn't. I'm hoping I'm due. But as they say, you hope in one hand, poop in the other, Jimmy. And we need a lot of soap for our hands. I was thinking about doing KC minus 5.5. Right, it's up to 5.5 now.
I thought we could get 5s. Let me just quickly take one look offshore. There are 4. It's 4.5 at Pinnacle.
Give me the 4.5. I was hesitant. I was like, it's 5.5. It was 3 early. It keeps going up. I don't care. KC gets it done.
Chiefs minus 4.5 at minus 106. Hardman anytime touchdown plus 650. The under 43.5 at minus 110. Any other action for you in the Chiefs Dolphins game?
That is it for the Chiefs Dolphins game.
All right, that concludes his action, Mr. Sean Higgs, on Saturday. We move right to Sunday. We start with Packers Cowboys. Take it away.
Shout out Razor Sharp. I got some from under my nuts cheese for you here. This guy comes in. We're doing a show. He puts out the "I'm with stupid" banner, points at me. All right, here we go. I'm taking Dallas first half team total over 14.5 to light it up here, Dallas. You know, I'm a Cowboy guy, but I'm a realist Cowboy fan. And 16 straight at home. This is not your old Cowboys team. They'll take care of business here. And I also like the over in this game. Listen, if you want a 7.5, go for it, just to rub it in Razor's face. But we'll just do over in a first half team total here. Are you Green Bay's? Come on. You beat Fields, Mullins, a rookie quarterback in Allen. Bryce Young put a 30 spot on this team, and Tommy Cutlets. Really. And here comes Dak, who has been awesome this year. Cowboys offense is going to roll over the total. Dallas first half team total over 14.5. And 2 touchdown anytime here. We're going to go Cooks for the Cowboys, plus 190. And we're going to go Reed for Green Bay. We got to let Razor eat a little bit. Plus 150.
Beyond was stupid. Oh man. So wait, Cowboys first half team total over 14.5 at plus 101, and the 2 touchdown props. Was there one I missed?
Over the total game total.
Straight over in this one. Yes, Troy. I'll hook you up with it here in a second. The over right now is 50.5. At minus 108 at Heritage is the best one we can give you. So over 50.5 over 50.5 at minus 108. All right. In business for the game. And yes, he's all over that game. And you'll be happy to hear his action, Troy. He's on the Browns money line minus 130. He's on the over 44.5 minus 112. He's on Flacco over 275 yards at minus 130. Hunt anytime touchdown plus 180. Njoku anytime touchdown plus 170. And Schultz anytime touchdown plus 230. Next up for us then is let's move over here, is a Rams-Lions. Rams-Lions. Take it away.
I'm going Rams. I wanted to screw it. We're going Rams money line here. Don't worry about the points. The Rams are going to win this, or it's not going to be close. I'll take Rams money line. I got a Super Bowl head coach. I think that's the difference here. Both quarterbacks, nice little storylines. But Dan Campbell, to me, is the problem. He might do something stupid here. It's fine. You want to run fake punts on the road and you're down a little bit. Playoff time, stupid stuff's going to come back to bite you in your ass. I don't like that. I think the Rams pull this one out here. Give me the 150. Actually, you know what? I got a 150. I don't know what the line is now. So
Plus 141 is the best we can get.
all
you.
right, plus 141.
Rams money line. What are you rolling with that?
Nothing. I got no props in that one. Nothing.
Okay.
That's
All right. Well, let's head over to Monday. So we go right to the rescheduled Steelers-Bills game. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm just going to hit the under in this one. Initially I was going to come in and I actually got one of the offshores voided my Pittsburgh bet because of the change of day, and it's more than 24 hours away going from 1 to 4, which is good because I don't like the Steelers because I figured they can't throw the ball. It'll be close. Just give me the under here. I thought about some props, but again, that was in blizzard-like conditions. It would have been good. Tie in the first quarter would have looked nice at 25 to 1 there to plus 250. But in this case, forget about it. It's a different day. It changes everything. Changes the whole aspect, Jimmy.
It does. It changes a lot. Do you want 37.5 at minus 115 or 37 with regular VIG?
37. I always give me that extra one. 115. That's fine with the VIG. That's
you
commonplace now, Jim. They don't. It's not the old days where everything was minus 105s, like flat 110s, 90s style. That doesn't happen much.
Under 37 at minus 115. Final spot then on the board is our Buccaneers-Eagles game, our live stream for Monday night. Take it away.
Under. I'm going under total here. I was initially thinking to come in on Philly, but way too much going on with their, Browns out. You figured this was a game where everybody's down on they'd win. I can't. It's just total disarray in Philadelphia. Let's just go under the total.
We have under 43 at minus 105. I'm right with you on that. Under
43 now? All right. See, I wrote down my early, and I just wrote down from what I got at the beginning of the week. So it's 43. I like it even more. I love it.
It has moved down. I'm with you. I got it early of the week.
So 43. Well. What is the odds? So I can write those down so I know.
Under 43 at minus 105. Anything else?
No, that's it. We got some player props. We got some sides, some totals. First half, we got everybody covered. I kicked the Packers when they're down for my guy Razor. So
let's review all action. Philadelphia, Tampa under 43 minus 105. Pittsburgh, Buffalo under 37.5 minus 115. Rams money line plus 141. And then in the Cowboys Packers game, Reed anytime touchdown 150. Cook anytime touchdown 190. Green Bay Dallas over 15.5 minus 108. Cowboys first half team total over 14.5 at plus 101. Chiefs minus 4.5. Hardman anytime touchdown plus 650. Miami, Kansas City under 43.5 minus 110. Schultz anytime touchdown. Njoku anytime touchdown. Hunt anytime touchdown. Flack over 275 yards. Cleveland, Houston over 44.5. Browns minus 130. Sean Higgs in business. We are used to Bano being high volume. Bano gives us 7. Sean Higgs gives us 16 bets here on NFL.
I was like, you know what? I'm running out of time to take Marley down. So I'm like, I'm coming in. I feel really good. I feel really good this weekend, baby. We're going to get it.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And listen, if it starts out bad with today, I do midday money, but I do late night money now at midnight Eastern too. So you come in and harass me if these games all go down. You can come in and mess me up.
I love it. Please support midday money and follow our guy Sean on X at Mr. Sean Higgs. Sean, thank you for making time for us. You've been a revelation all year. You've been so good. Now I see you crushing it in all sorts of spots all over the place. So it's just commonplace for you, but it's been a big help for us. So we thank you so much. Right, get that cash, my friend, and I'll be in touch with you about live streams this weekend.
You got it, Phil.
There he is, Mr. Sean Higgs. We move on to our next guest, currently ranked 6th out of 28 cappers, 31 and 33 plus 1.79 units. He spent a lot of the year in the top 5. He's just outside of it right now, and he's ready to rock. So we head north of the border to Kingston, Ontario for our next guest. Please welcome Mr. Birdie Betts to the show. Birdie, how are you, my friend?
Living the dream, Jimmy, the motherfucking bag. Let's go. My hands are leaking, and we're going to make some money. Have your pens and paper ready, folks, because they're going to be fire in here.
Birdie, let's get right to work. We start with this Browns-Texans game thus far. We have heard for the Texans money line from Bano. Ragu stayed off, and Sean is being moved on the Browns. Will you break the deadlock here? What's your plan?
Okay, so I'm not going to do anything full game-wise. I'm going to try to take advantage of what Stefanski does really well, and that's just prepare his team for that opening drive. He's money in the first quarter. So we're going to take the Browns first quarter money line at plus 100. We're going to take the Browns at negative and half at plus 140. This is all first quarter. And we're going to take the Browns winning margin in the first quarter between 1 and 6 at plus 375. And we're going to also take the Browns winning margin in the first quarter by 7 at plus 300.
Wow. Okay, so Browns winning margin 1-6 was plus 375.
Yep.
Plus 1-6. Sorry, plus 375. And then is it 7 or more?
7 or more plus 300.
Browns winning a margin 7 or more, 7 plus at plus 300. Wow. Okay. Why don't you just touch a little more on your bullishness on the first quarter for the Cleveland Browns?
Well, Stefanski with Flacco has scored touchdowns in 4 of his 5 first opening drives. So Stefanski's just really, really solid at getting his team ready. Cleveland always takes the ball, whether they win the flip or don't. I just think this sets up very well for the Browns to get out and get going here against a younger team, probably whose eyes will be pretty big in the moment for their first playoff game. So hopefully we take advantage of it. Really like this spot.
Let's move then on to.
Oh, we're not done.
Oh,
we're not done.
All right, roll.
No, we're going to take Flacco over 0.5. We're going to key Flacco over 0.5 interceptions, and we're going to key him with Tua for one parlay, Love for another parlay, Stafford for another parlay, Goff for another parlay, Allen for another parlay, Hurt for another parlay, and Mayfield for another parlay, all over 0.5 interceptions for all those guys.
Okay,
So 7 different 2-teamers there.
Okay, so sorry, could you give me those quarterbacks one more time quickly? Tua, Goff,
Tua,
yeah,
Love,
okay,
Stafford,
okay,
Goff,
yep.
Allen, Hurt, and Mayfield.
Wow. Okay, and then give me the prices.
I'll have to get that. They're all different. Sorry, I didn't get them down. I was running a bit late here on all those.
Okay, no worries. If you want, you can just put them into the chat at any time, and I will grab them. But I've got it all set up for you. All right, Flacco interceptions. What a fascinating way of moving on this one. Flacco with Goff, with Love, with Stafford, with Allen, with Hurt, and with Mayfield. Interception parlays with each as Flacco as the anchor of it. Anything else you want to touch on with that action?
That's it for that game.
All right. Then touch on your thought process. What led you to this interception?
Flacco's thrown 8 interceptions in his starts, and he's had at least 6 interceptable balls that haven't been caught. I think we're all in love with what Joe Flacco has done, and they've won, and he's put up points, and he's good, but he's also very reckless with the football, and he's been very consistent with interceptions in his start. So I'm happy seeing him in the bunch of men.
It's a fascinating way of handling your business. I'm looking forward to keep a very close eye on it. Let's move on. 8 p.m. Eastern, Dolphins, Chiefs, Arrowhead. Take it away.
Okay, so we're going to take the Chiefs money line here and tie it with the Lions money line, and then Chiefs money line and Bucks +3.
So Chiefs and Lions and Chiefs with the
And
Bucks +3.
And Miami team total under 13.5.
And Miami, so Dolphins team total under 13.5. Okay.
And that's it for this game.
Okay. Do you have those numbers?
I do, but I can't make it. I'll put it all in the chat.
Okay. So Chiefs, Lions, Chiefs money line for all is the anchor for these. Chiefs, Lions, money line, Chiefs and the Bucks +3, Chiefs and the Dolphins team total under 13.5. Touch on
the Dolphins team total. Dolphins team total under. So the Lions is +127.
Okay.
And the Bucks are +159.
And the team total?
Was +135, I believe.
All right, so Chiefs, Lions, money line parlay +127, Chiefs, Bucks +3 at +159, Chiefs, Dolphins team total under 13.5. Anything you want to touch on with that action?
It's the weather game. This is a really bad spot for the Dolphins. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's like they're telling fans that they have to cover their faces. The wind chill's going to be so bad. So I just think the Chiefs have a really big home field advantage here today. And that's why they always try to get that number one seed is exactly for this moment. So try to take advantage of the weather and a fair weather team having to play in it.
So we have connects on the Chiefs to a spot, all over here, but not with the next game on the board, which is our first game on Sunday, Packers Cowboys. So let's roll into that one. What's your plan there?
I'm going to take Dallas at the 7 and then take Dallas at 13.5 at plus 190.
So
I just think Dallas is in a really good spot here at home. They're just a different team at home. I don't see round one. They won last year, round one. I think they're comfortable, this group, and I don't think the Packers are going to be overly comfortable today in Dallas or tomorrow in Dallas.
So the Cowboys here at the 7. We can get you that. I'm gonna see what I can. I'm gonna the line up for you.
It's 110 on 365.
Yeah, but I can. But I'm gonna see if Pinnacle will give you a little bit better line. So let's roll on, and I will find out. Is there anything else you're adding to the Dallas spot?
13.5 plus 190.
Anything else? That's it. That's for Cowboys, Packers. Let's roll into Rams, Lions. This is our Sunday night live stream. Take it away. Or is it just the Chiefs, Lions? Is that the only thing you're using here?
No, I'm going to use Lions with the Bucks as well at plus 3. And that'll be it for that game.
Okay, so then you have here the Chiefs. Oh, sorry. The Lions. My bad. Sorry. Lions with the Bucks at plus 3. And what did that pay out?
I think it's 212. I'll have to check.
Okay, if you could verify that for us. So Birdie firing shots all over the place. Lions, Bucks plus 3. He's already got Chiefs, Lions. So that's his last action for the Lions spot. Let's move on to Monday, Steelers, Bills. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm going to probably just pass on this game now that it moved. I was leaning the over 37. Let's take the over 37. That'll be my play in this game.
So Buff Pitt over 37 here on this one. I think there might even be no, there's no 36.5. I thought I saw one there. Over 37. Okay. Oh no, there is over 36.5 now at my bookie. Over 36.
That'll work.
Over 36.5 at minus 110. So let's roll into our final spot on the board. That is our Eagles, Buccaneers. Take it away, Birdie.
Okay, so I'm going to take the Bucks at plus 3. I'll take the Bucks money line. I think it's even money, and then I'll alt the Bucks to 2.5 at plus 150.
Bucks minus 2.5 over at plus 150, which would mean the Bucks money line is plus 129.
Well, then you're getting better numbers than I got.
The Bucks plus 3 is minus 119. So that's all locked in. Here, if you want the they're not giving me anything more, but you probably got it at bet 365. So let's lock that in. So Bucks plus 3 minus 119, Bucks money line plus 129, Bucks minus 2.5 at plus 150. We are locked and loaded. The only other thing I have to do is get you this Dallas Cowboy. I just think I can just beat this. Let me just very quickly see if I can beat this 7. And at 7, I can get it to minus 107. So there we go. Cowboys minus 7 at minus 107. Birdie taking shots all over the board. Let's review Birdie's action. Browns first quarter at even money. Browns first quarter minus half plus 140. Browns first quarter winning margin 1-6 at plus 375. Browns first quarter winning margin 7 or more at plus 300. Flacco over a half interception. That's with Tua. That's with Goff. That's with Love, Stafford, Allen, and Hurt and Mayfield. So that's 7 different spots there with Flacco, half interception as the anchor piece. He's going to put those lines in the chat for us. Chiefs, Lions at plus 127. Chiefs, Bucks plus 3 at plus 159. Chiefs, Dolphins, team total under 13.5 at plus 135. Dallas minus 13.5 at plus 190. Dallas minus 7 at minus 107. Lions, Bucks plus 3 at plus 212. Buffalo, Pittsburgh over 36.5 at minus 110. Bucks plus 3, Bucks money line, Bucks minus 2.5 that we just went over here. And that Lions money line with the Bucks plus 3 is, yeah, okay, you're in business. All right, you're in business, my man. Excellent work. You're firing away. We've got to move on to our next guest. Do you want any last touch on anything that you've given out here action-wise?
No, we don't have time. Just move on. Let's get to football.
I love it. Birdie hammering the board all over it. Please follow our guy at Birdie_bets. And what an interesting amount of action for Birdie, firing away. Let's bring on your next guest. He is currently 0.58 units out of first place. He's joined us for 9 different weeks, and he has swept the board in 3 of them. The worst week he has had on our show was last week, and he went 2-3, down minus 1.25 units. This next guest has been unbelievably consistent and unbelievably impressive. He is half of Brothers and Bets YouTube channel. Please support and go over to Brothers and Bets and subscribe. You'll also be able to roll with him and Coach down at Pub Up Palooza, and his partner's named Coach, but he's also a coach in his own right, leading by example in the community. Please welcome our next guest, coming to us from Texas, man, H-Town. We got our guy, Marley Betts, in the house. Marley, how are you, my man?
Yo. What's the deal? Let's get it.
Marley, you have been a model of consistency. And so I don't. If there were more superlatives I could find, I would give them to you, because you have been nothing short of spectacular. 24-12 plus 11.47 units. 33% of the time he sweeps the fucking board. Let's get right to work, Marley. Saturday, 4:30 p.m. This game pops off in 38 minutes. Browns, Texans. Take it away, my man.
Yeah. I gotta get ready to go watch this. So obviously, I don't know, you man. Brace yourselves on this one, man. Your boy is a homer with this game. So clearly, I'm on the Texans, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, well, Jimmy, look, I like first half team total Houston over 9.5. I think we can get 10. I think we can get a touchdown and a field goal in the first half. So that's my play for the game, for the show. I'm on Houston. I'm on the money line. I think CJ Stroud makes a big difference. I know CJ Stroud makes a big difference for everybody looking at that first game. But let's not forget, there was also no Will Anderson and no Cashmere at linebacker. We got our pass rushers back. All we got to do is hit Flacco. Flacco, he's gonna turn the ball over. For everybody that's marveling at him, which he's come in, he's done great. He's definitely shown that he still belongs in the league and not on the couch. But the man throws the ball to the other team consistently. He is leading the league since he's been back in interceptions. Give me the quarterback that does not turn the ball over. So what's that Troy Terrence saying? We seen what Stroud did against the Jets. How can you be so sure? I mean, the Jets got a hell of a defense. Speaking about defenses, let's talk about the Browns defense. Yeah, that defense is magnificent. At home, that defense does not travel on the road for whatever reason. And maybe you can say it'll be different this week, but that's not what they've shown. They're giving up 29 points a game on the road. That's completely different from what they was doing at home. At home, they're giving up 13 points. Their sacks totals aren't even the same. Like everything drastically changes when they go on the road. And like I said, maybe I'm just a homer. Maybe I'm just buying the CJ Stroud Kool-Aid, but I'm drinking it and I'm asking for another cup. Give me the Texans money line full game. But like I say, the best play I'm giving out, I'm taking both plays. You can have them both for the show. But my best play for this game is the first half team total over 9.5.
That Houston first half team total over 9.5. I just took looked at two books and they were both at minus 140.
Yeah, it's a little juice, but I'm still gonna take it.
No, I feel you, but can anybody find cheaper? I'm just wondering because Pinnacle and Bet365 each have that at minus 140. Then we're giving out the money line for the Texans as well. Full game money line. I'm going to search around because we did have the line's been moving towards the Texans for the last hour and a half or 2 hours or so. There's a plus 115 down from plus 120, but I'm going to keep line shopping here for our guy Marley. So Marley starting with that first half team total over 9.5 and Houston plus 115. By the way, Dan Kelly, as big of a Cleveland Browns fan as you can find, he in the confidence pool took Houston at 13 just so if the Browns lose, at least he is going to be in the lead in the confidence pool. So that's a little twist from our Dan Kelly. All right, let's move on to the second spot on the board. God, I'm so excited about this football game. Take it away for us. Your plan for Chiefs Dolphins.
Hey, look, what do we got? Like -8, Jimmy, for the weather in this game, -6, something like that. One of the top going to be in the top 4 coldest games in NFL history. I don't know about you, but I don't feel comfortable putting my money on a quarterback that's from Hawaii playing in that weather. This kid does not know what it's going to be like playing in this weather. And obviously in that kind of weather, everybody's cold. And I want to tell you, take the Dolphins because they're the best running team in the league. And this is going to probably be, because of the weather, is going to be one of those type of games where you have to run the ball. But, man, the Dolphins' defense is so banged up, especially on the outside. On the edges, on the edges with both defensive ends gone down and the third guy, I can't think of his name right now, Van Hinkle, something like that. But the backup to those guys is out. I mean, they're practically getting people off the street to come play D-line. If I'm not mistaken, the Dolphins are like 0-10 in games that are below 40. I just can't. We're talking about -6. The Chiefs, haven't been playing the best, and it's kind of hard to back them with +5. So with that being said, I like the under 43.5. I figure that's the way to go, especially in a kind of game where the weather is going to play a significant role. And the Chiefs haven't been able to score like we're traditionally used to seeing them scoring. However, they're healthy. I think they have all 22 starters going into the game. Well, Miami is they're just so banged up. I know you get Mostert back, and I'm a fan of A-Chain and like this running game. I think that's what they will be able to do. That's the success they will be able to find. I think the Chiefs are like middle of the pack, as good as that defense has been playing. But when it comes to stopping the run, they're somewhere along the middle of the pack. But in Arrowhead, you got a Polynesian quarterback that don't know nothing about no cold. He go be freezing. And I think that I heard something about they're already telling fans like they got to wear a face mask because the wind is going to be cutting and slicing up like that. Like, man, Miami don't want none of that. Listen, I'm from Houston, and it's finna freeze. It's finna freeze here in a couple of days. And when I talk about freeze, I'm talking like 30, in the 20s. And like, we're freezing out here. You're talking about minus fucking 6 and 4 degrees with the wind chill. Nah, give me the under, man. 43.5. It's not gonna be no scoring going on.
You are locked in under 43.5. Let's move on to Sunday action. Packers, Cowboys. What are you doing with these Cowboys?
I'm going under 50.5 right here. Too many points. I think we might can get the Cowboys. I think they can cover the 7. Obviously, I think they win. I think that 7's gonna be. I think it's gonna be tight. In my mind, I'm thinking 20-27 type of ball game here. As good as Jordan Love has been, I think I was the only one on the Packers last week. I've been following both of these two teams. As good as Jordan Love has been playing these last several weeks, I'm sorry, Razor, but he hasn't went up against the defense like the Cowboys. And I think it's at home, it's playoffs. They're going to be juiced up. The offense is going to roll. The Packers defense is terrible. I know they played a couple games. They've won a couple games here of late, and they didn't look half bad against Minnesota, who Ford, I can't even remember who the quarterback that started the game. And then, Chicago, they held Fields to 9. But I can't think of who said, I don't know if it was Higgins or Birdie that said it earlier, but this is the same defense that gave up 33 points to Bryce Young. carved their ass up. Baker put up 34 points on them. Who was the Giants quarterback? Was that DeVito that put up 34 points on them? So, I mean, we're talking about one of the top 3 if offenses in the league right now, behind Miami, maybe, if that. Like, they're gonna eat. So I like the under for the game, though, under 50.5. I think Jordan Love's gonna struggle a little bit against this Packer defense. Great season for the Packers, though. Razor, man, y'all should take this one. I think Jordan Love's y'all guy. I think he performed well this year to get y'all to the playoffs, but this is where that story ends.
Gives them hope going into the offseason. When will the Packers offseason start is the question. Let's move on to our Sunday night live stream here, Marley. Rams, Lions at Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Take it away.
I'm going under. I'm going under 52. I just think that's too many points. I think this is going to be the most competitive game, one of the most competitive games. Obviously, you got the storylines. I'm with I think it was Mr. Higgins that said this earlier. Dan Campbell scares the shit out of me. I love him as a player. I probably would love to play for a guy like that. But when it comes to making decisions, sometimes he scares the shit out of me. Like, just sometimes it's like, bro, just punt the ball or just take the 3. It's like some of these situations, man. I mean, as a player, like I said, you probably fucking run through the wall for this guy. But like, there has to be an adult in the room. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's the adult in the room. So I like the under. I'm also on the first half team total over for the Lions because I think they'll score. I think Goff's going to come in this game pissed off. Like Matthew Stafford said, he is the bad guy. I mean, technically, he's not the bad guy. He did one out, but I think he gave Detroit everything they had. So I think they probably a cheer for him. But Goff has to feel like, I got a point to prove this game. He's not going to say it, but I mean, Sean McVay kicked his ass to the curb after he took them to the Super Bowl, and it was just like, nah, I want that guy. He's better. And then validated it with the Super Bowl. So, like, he has to feel like, I got the team. They're playing good right now. I mean, I don't see – if it wasn't for Campbell, I'd take Detroit minus the 3.5, but he just fucking scares me. But he might blow it some kind of way. So I like the under. I do like the Lions to score. So give me the first half team total over. I think I saw it at 13.5. That's what I got it. I don't know.
13.5. Yes. 13.5 minus 116 available right now. The under 52 at minus 110. So that means all we heard were people on the over early, but that gives Ragu, Marley, and myself all on the under in the Rams Detroit Lions game.
Too many points. It's playoffs, baby. We got to get some ratcheted up, some defense, some intensity. I do think we'll get some scoring because Detroit Lions take chances. They fucking blitz on early downs, and Stafford. I hate betting against Stafford. You know, a quarterback like that, like he can make all the throws. The offense is rolling. You got an offensive guy in McVay who can do some things. But it's the playoffs, man. We're going to ratchet it up. We're going to be a lot more careful. We're not going to take as many mistakes. The game. Matthew Stafford holds the ball anyway. He's not in a rush. He always takes his time, get out the huddle. I think we're good. We're going to get under.
Let's roll right on to Bills Steelers. We got 2 games left here for Marley's action. Take it away for us. Steelers at the Bills, Highmark Stadium on Monday at 4:30.
Are we still getting snow and blizzard and like the same type of weather we were getting?
Stop snowing that morning, supposedly, and the wind is 20 mile per hour. Heavy.
So I'll keep my cap the same. I'm just gonna hold my nose and take the under on this one, and I'm playing with I'm basing that off the weather. 20 miles an hour wind. I think that's kind of where quarterbacks kind of start to have problems, if I'm not mistaken, where it's getting a little too hard. Josh Allen, obviously, he has a strong enough arm to pierce through it, but do I think Mason Rudolph can pierce through that wind? No, I do not. I know they've been playing obviously a lot better since he's been in. Offense has been scoring since they made the coaching change. And man, do you have to that goddamn Tomlin, huh? He just keeps winning. He just keeps putting together winning seasons. Gotta respect that. But I can't tell you the last time they won a playoff game. I don't think they get it here. But
he's won 3 of the last 11.
Oh shit. Yeah. And we're getting 18-degree weather, something like that. Really cold. I'm gonna hold my nose and take the under on this one, 37. I think it'll still be tight. Just depends on what Buffalo gives us. But I think we get a low scoring game here.
We can get you that 37.5
I'll take
at
that.
minus 115, just 5 cents more. That's what we gave Sean Higgs as well. Now, Birdie's on the over 36.5 in that one. Let's get to this final spot on the board. Marlon, we got to move on to our next guest. It's my fault. I've been running late on this show. Take it away, though. Our Monday night live stream, Eagles Buccaneers.
All right, yeah, man. This is another one that I'm holding my nose on. I'm on the Bucks. Give me the 3. I just can't back Philly with the way. I think they're the better team, at least on paper, but I just can't back them with the way they've been playing. And we're talking about no AJ Brown. I'm not the biggest Baker fan, but I don't even like backing this team as far as the way they got into the playoffs. They're not the better team, but the way the Eagles just have been playing with all the problems. Hurts is hurt. No AJ Brown. There's locker room problems. It's just too much shit going on with Philly for me to back them, especially -3. Maybe they win, but I think the Bucks can cover here. I think we'll have a tight game, tighter than that. I think the Bucks actually are alive, honestly. I can't pull the trigger on the money line, but I can take the 3 and hold my nose, and I think we cover.
+3 at minus 115 available at my bookie. 28 cappers we've had on the show this season. Only one has a better record than Marley, and that's by 0.58 units. That's what Marley has done.
Doc, the legend. I'm trying to catch you, Doc.
Well, you're very close. 24-12 plus 11.47 units. This is Marley's action. Give us a bet on each and every game. Houston first half team total over 9.5. Houston money line. KC Miami under 43.5. Green Bay Dallas under 51. LA Rams Detroit under 52. Lions first half team total over 13.5. Buffalo Pittsburgh under 37.5. Bucks +3. The first half team total over and the under 52. That's where the books would explode your SGP because they don't correlate. Anytime you can, if you like something that doesn't correlate, your the SGP skyrockets, like just jumps up ridiculous amounts. That's a perfect one right there. Excellent work, Marley. Thank you for running with us, man. Can't wait to be down at the Southtown 101 in San Antonio and buy you a drink. Your performance on this show has been spectacular. So keep up the good work. Thank you for making time for us. And everybody out there, please support Brothers and Bets. Our guy Marley and Coach, go over to subscribe to their YouTube channel right now. This is their time of year with college basketball going on. If you want to touch on it really quick, because we got to make moves, but what's going on with Brothers and Bets right now?
Yeah. No, we're about to jump started. The chat's going off now. Me and Coach were talking earlier. Our schedules are finally starting to get together. He coaches all sports, so that's what's been taking so long getting us together. But like Jimmy said, follow me here, Marley_bets. Come check out the channel. We do all sports, but college basketball is where we're really about to get going. And like always, man, let's beat Vegas.
I love it. Respect. There he is, Marley Bets. We go from the great state of Texas that doesn't allow sports gambling to Las Vegas, Nevada for your next guest. Currently ranked 4th out of 28 cappers on our show, 11-7 plus 3.5 units. Please welcome star of the Morning Steam show on Tony's Picks, our friend Ramon Scott. Ramon, how?
Ramon Scott, he knows about poker. He's a dealer.
Oh, not everybody has a legendary broadcaster, Barry Tompkins, doing their intro. Jimmy, I feel like Rosie Ruiz kind of entering the race here a little bit late. It's like 3 miles left, and a big day could get me close, but I'll throw some picks out there nonetheless on every game and get it done quickly with you here, sir. Hello to everybody in the chat.
It's great to have you, my man. Let's get right to work. Browns, Texans, take it away.
Well, I guess we have 2 teams in the never made the bowl here. Really, it's hard. There's only 4 teams. This is 2 of them. Cleveland's won and covered. We know 4 straight. All his favorites here. Jimmy Flacco comes off the couch, whatever. Let's remember Watson was hot too at the start of the year. It was an injury that knocked him out. Browns very, very good, obviously, defensively and offensively. Real good team from the AFC North, maybe the toughest division as it turned out here. Cleveland, not a great matchup necessarily, I don't think, for CJ with that man coverage. I think that's the one thing about CJ. I love him in this spot. I'm glad he's got his guys back. Maybe it'll be a high-scoring game, but I'm kind of going to play with you here, Jimmy, and play the confidence pool a little bit. I saw some great names in our confidence pool, some awesome guys in there, and I'm going to kind of roll with my picks here and take Cleveland today in this one. Cooper back, he had 265 yards in that game against Houston, yeah, maybe they'll have some different things for him today, but Ragu mentioned it was Davis Mills was in that game, not Keenum, but still Mills threw a couple of touchdown passes. So I think Houston can stay in, especially with their wide receivers getting a little healthy. But AFC North, Jimmy, 19-9-1 against the spread as favorites. AFC North as favorites outside of the division this season, 19-9-1. I'm going to take Cleveland here in this one. The experience factor for me. I think the late news here, injury-wise, has been all leaning towards Houston here. I'm just going to side with the experience here of maybe a Flacco against CJ. Love CJ. It's going to be great in the future, no doubt. And maybe, just maybe, D'Amico Ryans can dial something up. But I'll look for it late. Houston's had special teams problems, Jimmy, in their kicking game. Let's hope it doesn't come back to bite them here in a relatively close game. I gave it, Jimmy, a 3 on the confidence meter. So if that kind of lends to my confidence of the Browns, I'll still take them in this one. And is it 2.5, you say? Maybe I should go a little. All right,
It's a 2 now.
It's 2. Let's lay it. I mean, the confidence pool is all about the straight up. So I got to
Yeah.
gamble a little bit with these guys if I'm going to make up any ground. I mean, I'm on top of they're the leaders, but you know what I mean. Let's go Cleveland. Lay the 2.
Browns -2 at -101. Ramon, that rolls us right into the big Chiefs Dolphins game today in frigid temperatures at Arrowhead Stadium. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm looking at the field right now. I get it. You know, I mean, I'm a Chargers fan. I sat through the coldest game in NFL, not there, but I mean, when they played the Bengals 27-7 in what maybe some agree is the coldest game, even colder than the Ice Bowl, when the Chargers went from the 80-degree temperatures, even hotter maybe the week before in January in Miami, and won that incredible game with Kellen Winslow in Miami with the hook and ladder play and the late theatrics of the Chargers winning on the road into the -40-degree wind chill next week. It was no chance. And here you have a Miami team. We know all about this, right? I'm still looking for big plays. I think in weather like this, clear conditions, you have the setup for what's going to be controlled passing with Mahomes and Tua, probably, I'm going to say not a lot of mistakes. With Miami, you still have Hill, you still have Achane here to get the ball to them, let them make plays. I'm going to end up going over with KC. Don't bother running. Miami's got a little bit of run defense. All those injuries are a factor. They've actually got a little bit of help in the secondary. A couple of those guys are going to be able to make the game today, but elsewhere there is some big problems here. But don't run anyways. Pass it to Pacheco. Get him outside. He's not, okay, he's masking as a running back all these times. I feel bad the guy's in there sometimes running it up, but he often runs to the outside. Pass it to Pacheco. Keep the offenses going. You've got not only Kelsey, who maybe is an automatic ATD today, the way everybody's talking, but guys, maybe we haven't heard. Noah Gray. Could this be a game where Noah Gray steps out for Kansas City? And same thing with Tua, I think, and Durham Smythe. He might be able to get some feels. I'm going over in this one, Jimmy. In the confidence pool now, I did roll with KC for all of those factors. Of course, the weather factors there in Miami, all that. I buy into all of it with the cold conditions. I still think they get away for some scores, maybe even backdoor it here a little bit to get to the total. But I gave it a 7, Jimmy, on the confidence meter with Kansas City. So that'd be slightly above the average rating that you have to give a game in our 13-game confidence pool.
So are you on over 42.5 and the Chiefs?
No, sir. Just let's go just over here.
Okay.
Just rolling, just letting you know what I'm on in the confidence pool. I think it's such a fun tournament. Wish more people would have got in that.
It's the first time we're doing it, so 33 or 34, what we end up with, we're okay with. It'll build. It's a fun pool, tons of strategy. So hopefully people will.
That. I mean, I see some guys taking some chances in there already.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun strategy pool. So we hope that it builds here at Pub Sports Radio and everybody enjoys it. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board for us, Ramon. So we head over to Sunday action. We have to speed it up a little bit. Take it away, my friend. Packers, Cowboys.
All right. Well, Jimmy, I rolled with Dallas in the confidence pool. Gave them a 5, so I think they'll get it done. Whether or not that equates to a spread win, I'm not sure, but I'll go with the over in this one, Jimmy. I would think for Dallas, don't bother running. The one thing Green Bay, I know we made fun of their defense with Marley a little bit, but they can stop the run a little bit. But don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. When you got CD ready to have a huge day here against these guys, Cook showing up with touchdowns the last 2 weeks. I would think Jake Ferguson as well. I would think Dallas has a fine day offensively here in this one. I think, the storyline with McCarthy, I could get into all that. We got to hurry up, though, a little bit. If you're Green Bay, certainly I'm still in favor of Love here, and maybe Reed. Bad matchup, in my opinion, for Dobbs. There is balance with Jones. I think they can run. If they can get drives going, that's their best shot. Obviously, I think it's going to end up being Jordan Love has to play keep up here a little bit with Reed. Dontavian Wicks, maybe he can get loose a little bit. I think Dallas is the type of team to kind of give it up once they get a little bit ahead here. Jimmy, give me the over today, tomorrow in the Green Bay-Dallas game. We'll go over as our play here on the show.
Over 50.5 at -108. Let's roll into the next spot on the board for you. Rams-Lions, our Sunday night live stream.
Yeah, and I went with Detroit in the confidence pool here, Jimmy, just a 4, but only because, look, to me, Brad Holmes is, everyone talks about Stafford and the trade, of course, and Goff, but remember, it was Brad Holmes, the general manager, was with the Rams. He's now in Detroit. They're hosting the home game here against the LA Rams. Stafford's had his day. I mean, he's battled back. They've done a great job. They've been incredible. We touted them here with you. Jimmy said, oh, man, these guys, what a live ticket the Rams would be right now. I don't think in this matchup it feels like a live ticket to me. Detroit keeps beating up on these, not only covering spreads at home, covering spreads against good teams at home. Yeah, they've had some bumbling issues. We could all talk about that, but 35-15-1 for Campbell, that's a spread record. I mean, come on. Also 9-4 last 13 as a home favorite with Campbell. NFC North favorites, Jimmy, 12-7 this season outside of the division, and last 4 games, Detroit allowing just 62.5 yards per game. Yeah, maybe that Rams running game has been a little bit better, but Detroit so strong against top level competition. You call this top level. This is a playoff game. I'm going to take the Lions minus the points here over the Rams to get it done. Maybe I should have went a little stronger in the confidence pool. Did that a night or two ago, but feeling a little better about this. Right, I'm wearing a Rams jacket, by the way, but give me the Lions.
We're going to get you the Lions -3 at -106 right now at Pinnacle. Roll us into Pittsburgh Buffalo, my man. What's there?
Well, look, I still expect frigid conditions. Unlike the Kansas City game, there still could be some precipitation. The conditions are certainly still a little bit different in Buffalo, but hey, we've got a guy who's played in some conditions like this before, and maybe Pittsburgh guys too, but I'm going to trust Allen. It's going to be a low-risk game for him. Unfortunately, maybe good for Diggs. He could just take the day off. He'll, go half-ass through it probably in his routes, but I'm not sure about Diggs and Shakur to have big plays. I'm confident Pittsburgh can run the ball and try to control it with Harrison Warren. I'm not sure it'll necessarily be successful, but it's just not a good matchup either for Rudolph, I would think, with Johnson and Pickens, his receivers. So I'm going under. I'm going to revert. I think a little bit of value now, right? Yes, we know tonight was going to be very, very treacherous. I understand. I mean, basically the city shut the game down, said, we got emergency situation here. We can't have a football game. So, but for me, Jimmy, Buffalo, good defensive matchup against Pittsburgh here. I don't know if their options are very good offensively, but I still think it'd be tough, treacherous conditions, and I'm going to take the under as my play here in Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Could this be it? Actually, we heard rumblings. Were there rumblings about Tomlin? Let's move on. that he would move on.
Yeah,
not fired, nothing like that. Just maybe he change the scenery.
I can't imagine a world where he's not in black and yellow and over 500, but I hope that's not the case. Pitt Buffalo under 37.5 at -115 available at Pinnacle. Our final spot on the board before we're joined by Dave Rogers is our Monday night live stream. Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Take it away.
Yeah, Jimmy, this got my number 1, meaning 1 point of confidence on Tampa Bay. I'm just really bummed about everything that's happened in this Philly streak, winning just one of their last 6 games and not covering the spread in any of them right now. Yeah, Tampa Bay gave up that game, lost 25-11 in week 3, but the Bucs still 10-5-1, last 16 as a home underdog. They have a little bit of postseason experience, 3-time division champions. They've been there a little bit. Yeah, they didn't win the Super Bowl well, they did, but not with this group. But you know what I mean? They do have a little bit of experience playing in playoff games in Tampa Bay. Hurts, the injury concern. That shot of him on TV freaked me out. I don't even know how he got back in the game. I hope he's okay. I'm glad that Swift is going to be in there for them, and they're going to need Devontae Smith. I'm going to end up going over in this one. Jimmy, just like good conditions. Philly defense looks like they've given up. I've got Evans. I've got Godwin and a little bit of running game here. So if Philly gives up, Baker doesn't care. It feels like a free roll for me. All the pressure is going to be on Hurts, and I think he can produce here. But again, they're a little bit banged up, certainly coming in on offense. But give me the over here on the Monday late game. Philly and Tampa Bay, and I'm going with Tampa Bay in that pool.
You're the first person to give out the over on the show today in Philly, Tampa. It makes me a little nervous. I'm on the other side, but I can understand how you put that together. And the line's not moving. Total's not been moving much, even with the AJ Brown announcement and all the money on the under. It's an interesting look. Let's review all action for our man Ramon Scott. He's on Philly, Tampa Bay over 43 -107. Pittsburgh, Buffalo under 37.5 -115. Lions -3 -106. Green Bay, Dallas over 15.5 -108. Miami, Kansas City over 42.5. And I didn't put juice on that. That's -110 my bookie. And Browns -2 -107. Please roll with our man Ramon Scott. Follow him on X, Ramon Scott Media. And Birdie says, if folks are not tuning into Ramon's show every day, you are missing out. This lad knows his stuff in all sports.
No.
That show is the Morning Steam on Tony's Picks, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. Get ahead of the market and roll with our man Ramon Scott. Ramon, excellent work, my man. I'll be in touch with you about live streams this weekend. We want you to rock with us, but excellent job this year. Currently ranked 4th out of 28 cappers. Ramon, any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
Appreciate everything, Jimmy. Enjoy the games today.
I love it. There he is, Ramon Scott. We head further south from Las Vegas, but not too far away. We head down to Arizona, the star of Nerd Talk, closing out our big wild card special. And next weekend we'll be on Saturday as well. Please welcome none other than Mr. Dave Rogers to the show. Dave, how are you, my friend? Sorry about running late.
No problem. Let's jump right into it.
Let's jump right into it. It's okay if we go afterwards because not all the games are starting. Just the one, and that one is Cleveland, Houston. So take it away. What's your plan for Browns Texans to kick off in 8 minutes?
Yep. So I think the way that I bet this game, and I have 2 bets, is how I think the game script is going to be. No doubt that Stroud has been the man. I wasn't sure if it was him or Richardson that would be the better of the 2 coming out of the draft, but now we know. I thought he had some football IQ issues. That's not the case. The Texans all the way around should be proud. I actually think DeMeco Ryan should. I went on a Big Show, and you're forced to give out a future. And I don't bet futures, but I took Dan Campbell to win Coach of the Year. Stefanski's in the mix, but I think DeMeco Ryan is the guy. The team is absolutely incredible. They get to play a home playoff game, but really, here's what's going to happen. The Browns have Flacco back there. They're going to be a little bit trepidatious to let him unload. I hope this is the game plan, because if they don't, this could get away from them. They're going to run the ball a ton. They're going to play Cleveland Brown defense, and they're going to try to control the game. So, I think the Texans have had a great run of it. I think it ends here. I got -2. It's at -2.5. I'm on the Browns.
We have the Browns, and there is a -2 available. There's a few of them. -2 at -107. There's been a move towards the Texans over the last couple hours. Browns -2 at -107.
And I have a prop in that too. I should have given out because we're going quick. Jerome Ford over 42.5 rushing yards. That has to be the game script. They have to try to control CJ. It's going to revolve around whether CJ Stroud goes off or not, and I think they have to control that. And I think they run the ball and play defense.
Love it. What's the juice on the over 42.5?
18, minus 118.
Minus 118 on Jerome Ford. Nice work, Kelly McInnes. Gave out the 3-game parlay on our morning show here and smashed it. Kansas, New Mexico, and Wake on the spread. Great job, Kelly McInnes, my man. All right, we roll on. Game 2. God, I'm so excited about this one. Chiefs, Dolphins, take it away.
This one, and you're, I'm going to have a lot of the same.
Sorry, just very quickly. Minus 1.5 now for the Browns over at FanDuel. So mark it towards the Texans. All right, take it away, my man.
That's fine with me. Miami, KC. I'm gonna go with a really square bet here. A lot of people are on this. There's cold weather, and then there's bitter cold weather. Maybe not like Edmonton, Winnipeg cold, but for anywhere in the States, when you're down at 5 degrees and you have 10 to 15 mile an hour winds, that is cold as hell. It's going to be uncomfortable to play. We're talking about a team that's from the South with a team that plays in this and is used to it. I'm on the under. It's a pretty obvious under to me. And I like that a lot of people are on it.
Yeah, and I just took the Dolphins team total under, but I mean it correlates exactly with this. And you know, maybe I'm just being too square with it all, but we can still get you that 43.5 with regular VIG minus 110 under 43.5 in the frigid temperatures at Arrowhead Stadium for Kansas City, Miami, which leads us then to Sunday action. Start with Packers, Cowboys. Take it away.
I actually don't have a play in this game, and it's because I kind of don't know who to trust. Jordan Love has had a great streak. Sports and playoffs in professional sports there's a lot of about momentum. We've seen that in the past with certain teams. I would say I think the Cowboys cover, but I also can't trust the Cowboys because we know for 25, 30 years they've had an issue getting out of the first round of the playoffs. So I also don't trust McCarthy. I also don't trust Dak. There's a lot of things I don't trust in this game, so I don't have a bet on it. I might get on one, but I lean for the Cowboys to take care of business.
Stay off spot in Packers Cowboys. It's a stay off spot for me at this point. But I understand the sharp action moving it from 7.5 to 7, and I'm going to need just a little bit more time. Let's move on to our Sunday night live stream. Dave, sure hope that you can join us for this. Rams Lions, take it away.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to it. You know, there's firepower in this game for sure. But you know, it's playoff game. It's a primetime game, primetime Sunday night game. And you know where I've gone nearly every time with these primetime games. I think 51.5 is too much. I'm taking the under.
Well, I'm right with you on this under, and I've doubled up on it first half and full game. I'm not sure. I've been waiting for a sign that I'm wrong because everybody's on the over and it's not moving. Well, it moved a half point, but I wonder if as we get closer to game time, the public hammers it towards the over. I'm very curious about that.
This is a type of game where we don't often look at when we look at totals and capping. Kind of the thing we see teams all the time. We've been on the live stream. They're driving down the field, fumble, good for the under. They're driving down the field, interception. I think that Dan Campbell's so aggressive. I think what's going to play into this under and not scoring situations is him going for it or a fake punt or a weird onside kick. He's good for one or two of those a game. And if that stops a field goal or a touchdown and we get under by just a few points, I think that kind of factors into this game is how Dan Campbell coaches.
My whole thing was always surrounded around their inability for defensive stops on third down. Each team are terrible on third down. No, Rams not as bad as the Lions, but they're both so good offensively on third down. I'm seeing 7-minute drives, 8-minute drives and a field goal. And when that happens, it's just going to be absolutely beautiful for us. And wouldn't you do whatever you can to keep the opposition off the field? Isn't that the most important thing? That let's tire out the defense. Let's keep the, whether it be Stafford or Goff off the field. I mean, that would be exactly how I'd hammer it. Coin rolling with us, DGen Dude, Boogie Main. Great to see you guys. Let's keep rolling here with Dave Rogers, our final guest of today's special wild card show. So we go right into the schedule change Monday game for Steelers-Bills.
Steelers-Bills. This is tough. It's. I want to pull the trigger on this bet, and it's not a side or total; it's a prop. The thing about it is because it was moved, and because we don't know specifically what the exact weather is going to be. I don't have a bet in this game, but I like Josh Allen to throw an interception. The crazy part is usually his interception prop is up 150 or more. It's at 134 on Bet Online, and that kind of tells me that maybe in a situation, what that game a couple years ago against the Patriots, was it the Patriots that only threw the ball 4 times, or was there only 4 passes the entire game? Something like that, right?
Yeah, forget the exact number, but yes, I remember.
It's not going to be like that, but with 20-mile-an-hour winds, I think the Bills might try to run the ball with Allen and their running backs. He might not throw enough or throw deep enough to get an interception, but how can you not take it at that number? Because usually it's higher, and he's usually good for 1 a game almost every game this season. So that's my lean. I'm not taking it. I have to see if it's very, very treacherous, I won't take it because I don't think they're going to be throwing.
Did you think about taking any interception props in our Sunday Night Live Lions Rams?
Yes. I actually looked to drop Jerome Ford's yards down and take an interception prop with it, and I looked at both of those games. I'm just I like the Josh Allen one the best, and I don't push it on props, especially in the playoffs. I don't push props in any sport.
As a rec bet, at this point, it would be a rec bet for me. I've thought about taking each. So for both our Sunday night and the Monday night in Detroit, LA Rams, I thought about taking each quarterback to throw an interception individually and then parlaying them.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I'm thinking about doing the same thing with Mayfield and Hurts, but in that one, every time they throw an interception, betting it again immediately.
Okay.
But I'm not, like, I've been thinking about it all week, and I'm not sure if I'm getting too loosey goose with it. But I expect interceptions, and I expect Hurts' finger to be a problem, and I expect Mayfield. The problem is the bet won't work if Tampa's up 10-0.
Yeah. Because
we know Mayfield's going to stop risking and just, but so I've got a little bit more time to think about it. We have kickoff right now in the Browns Texans, but we have Dave Rogers rolling here. What was your line on interception minus 134?
Yeah, but I'm actually not taking that as an official bet. Because I want to see what the weather. If the weather's bad or cold, actually, basically, it's going to be the wind. It's going to
20 mile per hour winds right now. The wind's heavy.
If it gets crazier than that, I'm not taking it because they won't be throwing as much. So
Yeah.
It's a probable bet, but I can't give out a bet that I haven't bet on the show. I don't do that. So it's a heavy lean.
Thank you, Man Bear Pig, for pushing the likes. It means a ton to us, my man. And it was great seeing your name in that top 500 in the circa millions in Vegas. Great job, Man Bear Pig. All right, final spot on the board then for us is is our Monday. No, of course, sorry, we haven't done Steelers build that we just did. Sorry. Our final spot on the board then is our Monday nighter, Buccaneers Eagles. Take it away.
Yeah, this is going to fall in line. I'm on the under in this game, but I really, really like this under. I just watched Baker Mayfield with a $2 million incentive on the line. He had to go to the playoffs to get it. Absolutely play horrible and just not give a crap in true Baker Mayfield fashion. Whether he doesn't give a crap or whether he's not good enough to have great games, because he's in his head or he's short or whatever. I don't like Baker Mayfield, as you can tell. I don't think the Bucs are going to score. I mean, the Eagles defense is still pretty good, even though there's all sorts of injuries and all that. I think that it. I'm not sure that the Bucs could score on anyone right now. Look, they couldn't score on the Carolina, but the Jalen Hurts factor and the AJ Brown factor, I don't think we can get to this number. I think it's a very low scoring game. I think they should baby Hurts. They're going to baby Hurts. They don't have AJ Brown, and Baker Mayfield's a bum. So, and it's a prime time. So there you go. There's check
under 43 at minus 105. I bet it on Tuesday at 44. I was surprised to hear Ramon on the other side of it on the over.
Yeah, that's scary.
It took me, it's really scary when, and it's got 93% of the cash on the under two, and to hear Ramon on the other side is not comforting. So let's lock this in for you. That's Philly, Tampa. Let's review Dave Rogers' action here. No, Harold, no, we are just the Sunday nighter and the Monday nighter. At this point, that's it for us, Harold. Not both games. Although we've talked about it, we still could change that up. But right now, it's just Sunday night and Monday night. Philly, Tampa under 43 at minus 105. Detroit, LA Rams under 52 minus 110. Miami, KC under 43.5 minus 110. Ford over 42.5 rush yards minus 118, and Browns minus 2 at minus 107. There's my guy Jeff Arp in the house. Nice to see Arpy. That is our man Dave Rogers action. Nerd Talk Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights. Now schedules changed. More the people demanded more Nerd Talk, and that's exactly what Dave Rogers delivered for them. Please follow Dave on X as well at Picks from Dave, and you can catch him every Thursday on Betting with the Bag. Catch him every Thursday, Betting with the Bag. Dave, any last words here for the Cappers supporting the show? And thank you for your patience as we were running late.
No problem. It's been a long show. A lot of good information. Good luck to the chat. Thank you guys. Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Ramon, if that's who's producing. And if it's not, thank you, whoever you are. But either way, love you guys. Best of luck. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Beautiful. There he is, Dave Rogers. And yes, it is Jose Bouquet on the ones and twos, handling everything, as always, the backbone of everything we do here at Pub Sports Radio. So thank you, Jose, for all your hard work. And thank you guys, Al Cervic, Man Bear Pig, Ian Shaber, Jeff Arp, Harold Williams, Perky. What a great group, man. Thank you guys. Londo, Joe, Von Polo, Kevin Garrett's, Boogie, Maine, Coin, D-Gen, Dude, Nasty, Nate, Nordy, Doug, Ice Viking, all of you guys, The Sweaty Butcher, Gamblestein, Justin McKelvey. Thank you guys. John Gilly, nice to have Gilpatrick back in action with us. Let's review all action a final time. I've given you Dave Rogers action, so let's go through everybody else's and then put a bow on this. We have Bano on Cleveland, Houston over 44.5, minus 112. Texans money line and the joke over 57.5 receiving yards. Packers +7 and the over 50 in Dallas, Green Bay. Lions minus 2.5 and the over 50.5 in Detroit, LA Rams. And that's it for Bano. 7 spots. That's the lowest volume he's given us all year. Next up is Ragu. He gave us Chiefs first half -3, Chiefs full game -4.5. LA Rams, Detroit under 52. Tampa Bay, Philadelphia under 43. And then he has teasers: Cowboys -1, Bucks +9, Cowboys -1, Texas +8, Bucks +9, Texans +8.5. All right, then we have Sean Higgs. He's on the Browns money line -130. Cleveland, Houston over 44.5, -112. Flacco over 275 yards. Hunt anytime touchdown. Njoku anytime touchdown. Schultz anytime touchdown. Miami, Kansas City under 43.5. Hardman anytime touchdown. Chiefs -4.5. Cowboys first half team total over 14.5. Green Bay, Dallas over 15.5. Cook anytime touchdown. Reed anytime touchdown. Rams money line. Pitt Buff under 37.5. And Philadelphia, Tampa under 43. I'm going to bet that Pitt Buff under 37.5 -115 right now. So that would be my 7th bet on the board here. Birdie, what a wildly interesting card for Birdie. Browns first quarter at even money. Browns first quarter -0.5 at +140. Browns first quarter winning margin 1-6, and Browns first quarter winning margin 7 or more, 375, 300 respectively. Flacco over a half interception, and he's anchored that with a Tua interception, a Goff interception, a Love interception, a Stafford interception, an Allen interception, a Hurd interception, Mayfield interception. There's our guy Visa Joe in the house. Joe, excellent work in the Cappers contest this year, my man. You richly deserved the cash that you made. Then we have for Birdie, Chiefs, Lions, moneyline parlay. Chiefs in the Bucks +3 and the Chiefs, Dolphins team total under 13.5. Those are parlays. Dallas -13.5 and Dallas -7. The Dallas -13.5 is a +190. Lions in the Bucks +3. That's a +212. Buffalo, Pittsburgh over 36.5. Bucks +3. Bucks moneyline. Bucks -2.5. Marley, second, currently ranked second out of 28 Cappers. Houston first half team total over 9.5. Houston moneyline. KC, Miami under 43.5. Green Bay, Dallas under 51. LA Rams, Detroit under 52. Lions first half team total over 13.5. Buffalo, Pittsburgh under 37.5. Bucks +3. Then we have from Ramon, Browns -2. Miami, KC over 42.5. Green Bay, Dallas over 15.5. Lions -3. Pitt Buff under 37.5. And then that Philly, Tampa over 43, which made me very, very nervous. There you go. That is our show for today. Thank you so much for your support. We'll be back in action next Saturday as well. Only 4 games on the card, right? It's another 4-game card. Yeah, so 4-game card. So we'll have a lot of Cappers. We'll have more than normal hammering out that 4-game card for you guys. We truly have nothing without you guys. Can't wait to see you on the live stream tomorrow. Head over to our UFC live stream and keep getting that cake, keep making that money. And on behalf of all of us at Pub Sports Radio, Jeff Slaughter, Jose Bouquet, and myself, and everyone involved with our channel, thank you so much. Let's go out there and get the cash. Milk them bookies. Leche. Hey, los bookies.